IndividualAnnuity.com.
You know what hope is? Hope is action, carving a path forward, even when it's hard.
And kids who still know how to dream. They're the best pathfinders of all.
So at Child Fund, hope means helping millions of children living in poverty worldwide to grow up healthy, educated, skilled, and so all those good things can come true for them. Safe.
And that means safe at home, safe at school, and safe online.
Hope means walking this path together, all of us. Because when we work together, we can do so much more.
That's right. Hope includes you.
Child Fund, because we need each other.
To learn how Child Fund works with children in 23 countries to help them achieve their full potential, visit childfund.org. That's childfund.org.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Listen anytime, anywhere at 1580thefanatic.com.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Monday here on the Daily Blender. Your good friend, Radio Pound, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He'll be back tomorrow, but oh, look who came back after a week of, I don't know what the hell he was doing, to be honest. It's Harris, back from his vacation. What did you do?
So I went to Georgia, and I
Why?
went to the beach, a family vacation for a week.
They have beaches in Georgia?
They do. A little coast north of Florida, like an
Is it
hour away from
sandy
Jackson.
or is it rocky? What's it like?
Sandy. Very
Okay.
sandy. Not rocky at all, actually. Nice
Okay.
beach.
Huh. Never really put together Georgia with beaches, but okay. So you went to the beach, and then what?
Went to the beach. Honestly, just really chilled with my family. You know, everyone, I haven't seen them since they're all down there in Tennessee. And so it was a great weekend, Jeffrey. I did miss the Fourth Dimension, though. I'll be honest.
No, you
I
didn't.
did miss them.
I doubt it.
You know what I missed, though? I miss talking to Donnie because Donnie owes me a free pizza.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
right.
Yeah, he took an L like nobody's business.
That he did.
So,
He did.
did your girlfriend go on the vacation with you?
She did not. She was in Argentina for part of it, but she is now back.
It's like she lives on vacation.
Yeah. she's in San Diego now. So she's back and she's working.
So now she lives in San Diego.
Yes.
And you're trying to talk her into coming here.
I am.
You realize that makes you a monster.
I know. Because when I go to San Diego, it's like, oh my gosh. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, this is a losing battle here. I don't know if I can talk her out of this because the beach, the weather is always 70 degrees. I mean, Big George gets it, I'm sure. But man, San Diego is the best. I'd say it's the best climate in the U.S., possibly the world, Jeffrey.
I don't know about that.
Really?
I've spent a fair amount of time in San Diego, and it's when it's super duper hot here, yes, it's amazing.
Okay.
But, other times it's like I don't know. I feel like I don't know if I'd want to live full time in San Diego.
Really?
Of course, I don't want to live full time here either. So, I could just be a San Diego bird, I guess.
A San Diego bird.
But everything in California is kind of garbage, man. The politics are garbage.
Yep.
Business is garbage. Everything is garbage. And I'm talking about left and right. I'm not trying to make any kind of a statement here. Everything about trying to exist in California, it's just an absolute disaster.
And the drivers are the worst, too.
I think I'll pass.
Yep.
Oh, no, I fit in driving there because I drive fast.
Do you really?
Yeah. I'm a fast driver. I mean, I got a lead foot, but I'm safe. And I get out of people's way if they, and if somebody's in my way, I'm like, all right, fine, you're in the way. I don't get mad. I'm pretty speedy delivery kind of driver.
I could see that.
Wilbur, what are you talking about? He says, liar, liar, pants on fire. Oh, he knows you didn't miss him.
Wilbur? Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't miss you, Will.
Yeah.
Dimeback dude says, thank goodness Harris is back. That Philip guy was really getting on my nerves, along with Ralph. You know what's funny is if Phil's here, they're annoyed by Harris. If Harris is here, they're annoyed by Phil.
That you can never win with them.
And
one
well,
thing I
no, it
learned.
just shows you that Phil trained Harris. That's
Me and Phil always agree on everything too. So
That's
it's like,
annoying
oh,
as
no,
hell,
I
too.
go. No, you go. No, I go. No, you go.
indubitably. Oh no, you.
I
Big-
oblige.
Big George says, I want to send this as my confirmation that I'll be playing in the fantasy football league next. Wow, way to just completely not understand the assignment, George. You emailed that already, so you're already sorted out. So here's what happened. Last week, I sent out an email to every single person who's in one of our Daily Blender fantasy football leagues. No, I did not copy down your email address and type out individual emails. I just did mass emails from each and every one of our Daily Blender fantasy football leagues.
Right.
Got a great response back.
Yep.
And I was telling my wife, I'm like, I don't know if I'm more amazed at how many people have already returned, or am I more surprised by the ones who didn't? You know, there's an awful lot who still haven't. I got to say that the prize for most efficient response comes from League 5, where Filthy Phil is, along with Boogie and some other guys. There's only 2 people there who haven't responded. Bunch of other leagues still have 3 that haven't responded, like League 3, League 4, League 6, and let's see, it looks like League 10. No, we got to put some more people in there because we've also started the process of moving the people who won the leagues who were the top 4 players into the Premier League.
Okay.
And I'm still considering whether or not we're going to do this Champions League thing. So I just needed to do basically roll call with everybody to see who's all coming back. So I would see where the blank spots are so I can move people around. And we always have more people coming in. And I want to fill all the existing leagues before we open up and start a new one. Right. And every year we end up opening up a new league. I just want to make sure we're doing this right so we don't have like 4 people in some straggler league. So but George, that's absolutely the wrong way to do it. Don't tell me on the text line. Email me. And if you don't email me by July 1st, you will be deleted.
You'll get beat up.
Will have to come along later and go, oh, wait, I want to play. Well, that's fine. I'll just put you in some other league over here. So, So if you have not checked your email, check your spam, check your pants. I don't know what you need to do. Just make
Jeffrey
sure
will beat you up.
See the email that I sent out and respond to that.
Yes. What's the policy for the new guy, Jeffrey? Doesn't he start in the highest league?
No, that's the new guy. Okay. New listeners, you will be put into one of our basic Daily Blender fantasy football leagues with other people from the 4th dimension. And it's always a lot of fun. Harris, it's just not right, but he automatically is going to be in the Premier League as a host.
Yes. Oh, man. Well, I mean, I've won. I'm a 5-time champion of my league from back home, and so that's
what you keep saying.
A rewarding
that's what you just keep telling us.
Oh, I do.
I'm sure that the excuses will be plenty.
Oh, you say
you got to understand the people in the Premier League are there for a reason. Every one of them is a champion.
Who is in the Premier League? I'm curious. Who is in the Premier League?
Let's see. Moist one. I'm sorry. No, he left. He was 2-time champion of the Premier League.
And then he just left?
The Berg is leaving. Well, he's leaving because he bottom 4 in, 4 out. That's the way it works.
That's right.
And he just happened to have one bad year after winning the thing twice. But Sweaty Pants, the Berg, Pinocchio, and Moist one are going out. Coming in, it's Ziggy. I'm sorry, no, Ziggy's already there with I don't know who Golden Rules is as a texter, but Thundar, the Sand Barbarian, and the Punisher. And now coming into the league, Blue Magic, Fighting Wampa, Fecal Mist, and Dicker's Nuts. So
some of these names,
all these guys are champions. So, I still got to get this all sorted and organized and stuff.
Right.
Yes, to answer your question, Diamondback Dude, can anyone play in your fantasy football leagues? If so, don't put me in the league with Nigel. I hear he cheats. Yeah.
Does he actually? Oh.
Well, no, you didn't hear what happened?
No.
At the end of the season, he wasn't in the playoffs, so he dumped his entire roster back into the thing.
No.
Now, Ralph tells me he never played before. He didn't realize it was wrong. How do you not realize that's wrong?
That's so.
So I've banned him from the league
permanently.
Yeah. But then I'm like, well, okay, I'll be nice. If there's some humiliation that he will put upon himself, if there's some pound of flesh that he can give, then we'll let Neil back in. And he promises never to do it again. So we'll see.
Neil is Nigel.
Yeah,
I'm learning this.
We call him that just to annoy him. We never call him Neil on this show.
I've been told it's working, Jeffrey.
Yeah. Good. Yep. That was the intention.
Yep.
So anyways, Diamondback Dude, yes, here's how you get to play. If you've not played before, Blender at 1580thefanatic.com. Send an email saying, hey, I want to play. And I will save your email in a very special folder. And then once things sort of start to sort out, then you'll get an invite from the league that I'm going to put you in. And so there you go, Diamondback Dude. Send that email and you're in.
Love this system, Jeffrey. This is awesome.
Lost Toby says, Harris can take my spot in League 10.
Is League 10? Is that the worst league?
Wait. No, actually, it's not. Lost Toby, you're already in League 10, but there are 2 slots that have opened up in League 10 that I'll be placing some people. But no, it's not a matter of not knowing where to put Harris. It's just because he's on the show, he gets to be.
That's right. I'll take my participation trophy and I'll walk on up to the Premier League like I do best.
Pretty much the sad, unfair way we do things. Now, here's the other thing. Because the person who had been relegated out of the Premier League before has opted not to come back. I'm still in the Premier League.
Oh, yes. Oh, wow.
And there has been some conversations by the powers that be that we should not do that. And I'm like, I still like the idea of relegation because that opens up another slot for one of the super fans of the Fourth Dimension. What I'm going to do, if I can create a Champions League, then the person who gets relegated this season has to be in the Champions League with all the other people. So now we got 5 people coming in to the Premier League every year instead of 4.
Okay.
Well, or is that not right? I don't know if that's right.
I think that's fair.
I don't know. I'm still working it out. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out if everybody's playing. So if everybody's playing, you got to make sure I know. Email me or check your spam. You'll see an email from the NFL.com right there. Sir Drives a Lot says, just sent my fantasy football confirmation, Jeffrey. Good man, Sir Drives a Lot.
Let's go, Sir Drives a Lot. Love it.
Diamondback Dude says, you should do some Saw stuff to Nigel. That way he'll learn his lesson if he survives.
Saw stuff.
You ever seen the movie Saw?
Oh my gosh, I saw that in middle school.
Mess you up
and
life.
I saw that when I was like 12 and I had nightmares, Jeffrey, of someone with a chainsaw for the next like 3 years. It was horrible.
See, I'm more like, I don't want to gouge out my own eye to go to the next room and just die anyway.
Are you not a horror movie guy?
No, and here's why. I'm not. It doesn't scare me. I know it's all make up and make believe, and so it's like I'm unaffected by it, so it's no fun for me. I like movies with the tension. I like movies where you're like psychological thriller type stuff.
I can like.
But
those.
As far as horror movies go, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I know how they did that. Having worked in entertainment. Okay, that's just chocolate. That's not even real blood. That kind of thing. So I can sit there. If somebody has a horror movie on, I'm not, oh my gosh. I'm just like, okay.
It can be good for a date.
What's that?
It can be good for a date because she gets scared. Oh no. And then,
dude, I got more game than that. I don't need her to be scared.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just saying for someone that does it, you got to think of the lowly peasants that don't, Jeffrey.
Well, I'll allow it, I guess.
Okay.
Anyway, so that is what's what. So you were on vacation in Georgia on a beach with your family, and did you do anything else other than just sit around on the beach? Did you fish?
We fished.
Yeah. Did you fish in the ocean, or did you fish in a river or a pond?
So I'll tell you. Actually, we didn't fish it that much at all. Now that I think about it, we drove a boat the whole time. I drove a jet ski. That was super fun. Those things can fly. Jeffrey, I was getting like 67, 70 miles an hour on those things. And once you hit a wave
Mhm.
and they catch air, oh, that was super fun.
You can get really hurt if you're not careful. on one
Yeah,
of
you
those.
can. You really can. You
I,
can.
I remember taking some jet skis out with Bobby Fouts. He was a professional skateboarder back in the day, and
Bobby
we went
Fouts.
out and just to get crazy. And we waited till the weather got bad, and we went out on Sororo Lake.
Oh my goodness.
I thought we were gonna die. We were just doing these crazy leap that how you I don't know if they still do it, but how you leap it up in the air and then
Yeah.
you go plunge it straight underwater and you're holding on for dear life and you jet right back up out of the water. And
Oh, that
Oh,
sounds
we were
so
in-
fun.
we were like shaking when
How
we got
long
off
ago
those
was that
things.
for you?
Oh, that had been 1989, I think.
Okay, 1989.
Yeah.
Last time I was at Saguaro Lake, they have that 50-foot
It's still
cliff.
dirty.
Yeah, they have that 50-foot cliff. It is still dirty. And my girlfriend jumped it with no
You
fear
jumped
at
your
all.
girlfriend at Sororo Lake?
No.
Wow.
No,
I mean,
they'll get the wrong idea. The fourth dimension will get the wrong idea. But she jumped it with no fear. And she's like, all right, you got to do it. I was like, oh, crap. And so I was like getting up there and I looked at the bottom and I was like, shoot, man, do I do this?
you let a girl like shame you into
Dude,
cliff
I
diving?
hated it. I hated it. Because usually the man's supposed to be the one that's doing that, but she's so fearless. Like she'll go out and do it. And I'm like, crap, man, what do I do? And I was like, you know what? I have to do it. And I jumped. And it was you're up there for like 5 seconds, but it feels like you're up there for 30 minutes, man.
That's a good way to get paralyzed.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't have done that.
I shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
She did it and I had to do it, Jeffrey. I had to.
Well, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. You'd feel a certain way about it.
Yep.
But no, man, a lot of people have come back in wheelchairs or dead
Yeah.
from doing exactly where you did it. So
Yep, it's not allowed. But we
just
did it.
don't ever go back to Sororo Lake
Nope, I'll make sure. If she ever suggested, I'm
or
gonna shut it
Canyon
down.
Lake
Nope.
or any lake that has. Just don't go to any lakes.
Yep.
Stay away. Go to Lake Pleasant. There's no cliffs there.
Dang it, but I love lakes. Lake Pleasant could be good.
Lost Toby says, I'm putting my money on Dickers Nuts to end in last place in the Premier League. How would you even know that? You don't know that.
Yeah, Lost Toby, come on.
Rocky Top says, Harris, I am nervous. Tennessee is playing an elimination game today
Yeah.
against Wake Forest. I'm
Yeah.
still reeling after Vandy lost yesterday.
That was awesome.
No, he didn't get your text yesterday, Rocky Top, because this is the text line. This is not his personal text machine.
So essentially what happened last night, Jeffrey, Tennessee lost on a walk up on we walked a run in extra
Excuse
innings
me.
to Wake Forest.
Women's, men's,
Baseball, College World Series,
women's,
NCAA men's baseball tournament. Well,
Okay.
women's is softball, so I didn't think but yeah, it was a terrible way to lose a game. Terrible way. I'm
Huh.
with you, Rocky Top.
As bored as I might have been yesterday, I'm just not watching that.
It's fun.
Hmm?
It's fun. There's a lot of good storylines. Sports really growing, Jeffrey. It's really growing.
Which one?
College baseball.
Yeah, okay.
It's growing quick.
If you say so. I'm a little bit more focused on what's happening in the real world, and that is with the Panthers and the Oilers about to match up, and then, of course, the Pacers and OKC. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will talk about what happened over the weekend. There's a bunch of other stuff, and I want to really get to some football today. I feel like we keep trying to get to football, and then we don't get to football. I think today we can get to football, and there's a bunch of stuff that's been happening that does need discussing. Oh, yeah, by the way, there was a volcano that went off in Italy.
Really?
Everybody's running for their lives.
Really?
Mount Etna. And it says, oh, yeah, tourists are fleeing. It's like, can I just be, when you go to an active volcano and you're like, I'm a tourist, I want to see an active volcano, I don't feel the least bit sorry for you if you get blown the hell up.
Right. You walked straight into
What
it.
are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, Mount St. Helens up in Oregon, I saw that blow with my own eyes. And even years later, my mom and my sister and I were like, hey, let's go check out the Mount St. Helens. And I'm like, well, I need to look up the records on that first. I'm not going anywhere near that. Oh, they have a visitor center and everything. Like, nope.
We wouldn't want you to get blown up, Jeffrey.
Nope,
What would happen to the show?
I wasn't thinking about the show at that moment. Thinking
You
about
weren't?
my ass at that moment.
Me
So
too, I
yeah,
would've been.
you just stay away from active volcanoes. I feel like that I shouldn't have to tell anyone that.
It's good advice. Very
Plus,
practical.
Toby says he's bitter because Dickers Nuts won that league, and he says he was 6-8, and I had 10+ wins and led the league in points. Yes, but he also had a great number of points, and that was a really impressive. I mean, remember, we didn't judge who moved on Premier League just on wins and losses. That was part of it. The point structure.
Yep.
The way the competition was in that league at the time, what that person had to do to win. We looked at the record in the playoffs. We go very deep when we decide who moves into the Premier League.
This is deep. I'd love to know more about this.
That was a very impressive championship win.
Look at you getting all in like soccer, like Jeffrey. I didn't think you had it in you.
Shut
you
the hell
hated
up.
soccer.
What is wrong with you? It's nothing to do with soccer. In fact, I came up with all these ideas, and then people said, "You realize that's relegation like soccer?" I'm like, I don't give a crap. I don't even know what you're talking about. I thought I invented this. Turned out I didn't invent it, but I thought I did.
You did in America.
Anyways, we'll be back with more of the Daily Blender after this here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Miss any part of the Daily Blender? Download the free podcast at 1580thefanatic.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you need help, 211 Arizona is just one call or click away. This free service connects you with vital resources across Arizona, housing and shelter resources that improve or save lives, utility assistance, food support, heat relief, and more. Speak with one of our live operators in English or Spanish. Simply call 211 or visit 211arizona.org for resources near you. We're here to help in your time of need. This message is sponsored by 211 Arizona.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
The Rich Eisen Show.
We're all waiting on Aaron Rodgers. It's the biggest shoe that is yet to drop. I can understand the frustration of Pittsburgh Steelers fans waiting for him, wondering if he's going to leave them in the lurch, wondering if he will essentially say, not interested, not coming. Enjoy Mason Rudolph. Cough up whatever prospects you need to in future drafts to the Atlanta Falcons and go get Kirk Cousins.
The Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays at 9 a.m. on 1580 The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. What is your secret to success in fantasy football, Harris? What are you, is it the research? Or are you just constantly connected? Is it just instinct? What is your secret to success to winning at fantasy football?
Oh man, I have a lot of pointers here, but a lot of again,
just a general idea. I don't need you to tell me a bedtime story here.
Yeah, it depends on the construct of the league. But what I usually like to do is I'll reveal my whole strategy here because you're welcome. You're welcome, Fourth Dimension.
Is this going to take a long time?
Draft injured players. No, short amount of time. Draft injured players, and then wait for them to come back in the playoffs. Come in the playoffs like 7-6, and then be like an overpowered 7-6, like the 6th seed. But because you have all those injured players that come back, now their value is higher because you got them later than they should have been because they were injured, and then you win.
That's very simplistic. And what if you don't, get enough of these guys and they don't come healthy? I mean, that seems kind of like
well, that's
an odd way of backing into the playoffs.
Yep. It's usually worked for me. For example, so
you do this all the time.
I do. I'm a very boomer bust team usually. So for example, we'll do Nick Chubb a few years ago was coming into the league, coming into the season, suspended. No, he hurt his leg and he was out for 4 games. Nick Chubb probably should have been a first rounder that year. His value when he plays is a first rounder, but since he got injured and he missed 4 games, he was getting drafted in like the 4th or 5th. Because the playoffs are so important, I say overdraft those guys because it's likely he'll be ready by the playoffs. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense. But I mean, there's no guarantees, and there's no guarantee that when these players show up, that they're going to have the kind of success that would be necessary to push you over that hump.
There is no guarantee technically, but there are a few guarantees in life.
You do that all the time. That is a dangerous way of trying to win a league.
I do it quite a bit. And another way to look at it is you look at 2 things, 2 very big things, 3 big things, actually: talent, opportunity, and situation. Are you on a good team? Situation. So if you're running back, it's very important you have a good quarterback so those boxes aren't loaded. Opportunity. How much competition do you have for reps? Because fantasy football is all about volume. So if you're getting 80 targets compared to 160, it doesn't matter how good you are with the 80 targets. If you get 160, you're going to have more fantasy points. And then talent. So individual talent. How good are you as a player? Those 3 things, if you go by those 3 things in your criteria, you'll most likely be good in fantasy football, unless if you get extremely unlucky.
Another good way to do it is wait till the person you're trying to trade with is drunk.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of those in the 4th dimension.
Well, I was accused of that once.
Oh, were you
I had
really?
to undo a trade because George, I can't remember the trade. It was Gronkowski and Antonio Brown or something like that. And everybody got mad. And they said because George was drunk when I did the trade.
Oh,
and even now, George admits that he's like, no, he was like, it was still a good trade, and history proved us all right, but whatever. By the way, as commissioner of every single league, people don't think I'm paying attention. I do every single trade, and I rejected quite a few trades. If you're like, whoa, what the hell's that? And I said, well, let's talk through this, and then if it made sense, I went ahead and would approve it. But there are times where I'm like, nah, something's wrong here. That doesn't seem like a good idea for anyone.
I love your system because there's always that weak link of the league that doesn't belong, and he's given up, he's hopeless, and you're like, hey, dude, just give me this player, I'll just give you this, and we can just accept it, and that's that. Well, your system, he's relegated all the way down to League 10 or whatever, and so those people aren't in the Premier League. So the Premier League is the perfect balance of competition. It seems you've made it. So props to that.
No, that is a hard league to play in. It is a hard league.
I'm excited.
But some of these other leagues are very competitive. As I've watched some of the leagues, across the Daily Blender platform, sometimes I'm like, damn, I'm glad I'm not in that league. It gets messed up in there. But as far as the Premier League goes, yeah. By the way, what is your thoughts on this? We were talking about this the other day. I think that for the Daily Blender Fantasy Football, 10 is the right number for a league. 12 is too much. 14 is too much. The Premier League is 12. We did that so we could let more people in because there are 8 listeners in the league at any one time. So that's why we made that 12. What do you think is the right number of teams for a fantasy football league?
I think 10. I think 10 is a great number.
Phil did not agree with you on that. He thinks
Dude, that's the first time ever we disagreed on anything.
I think he thought it should be 12 or 14. He says here's why, and he's right. It makes it harder the more teams that are in there. That way,
That's right.
you don't get as many great players. But I'm like, well, it doesn't matter. Math, it doesn't matter.
So
because if you're in an 8-team league,
okay,
everybody's got like these amazing players, the best of the best. It's just math. You still have to be good at what you're doing. If there's 14 teams, it is hard as hell, but it's still the same math. But I just think as far as for sanity, 10 is the right. That way you're not feeling hosed about getting good players, and there's a lot more parity when there's 10 teams
Jeffrey,
than when there's 8 or 14.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect balance. I have to ask this. Do you guys start 1 or 2 quarterbacks?
1.
Because I'm a big 2 QB guy.
Too bad.
I think it replicates their value.
You get 1 and like it.
I'll get 1 then. I'll like it.
You know, what's funny is during COVID, we set it up where we had a bunch more reserve slots. So if somebody was injured or out because of COVID, I set up like 4 or 6 of those slots because I thought, man, this is going to just get ugly. It never did. And for a couple of years, I forgot those were there.
Yeah.
So people are like you like to do, just slotting in all these hurt superstars. I don't know if we even fixed it yet, to be honest. I'll have to go look.
Yeah.
LA Kid says, so where do bribes play into the whole Premier League promotion thing?
Ooh, so
I am unbribable. But I'll tell you where bribes do come in handy is when people want to be Hall of Fame texters. I'm very open to bribes. They are encouraged. We've had people bring bottles of whiskey and stuff like that, and it works. No, that'll get you in pretty quick.
What about just cash or a Venmo? That too.
I think that would feel just dirty.
It does feel dirty.
I don't think I want cash. No.
Yeah.
So there you go, LA Kid. Bribes won't help you with Premier League. Not at all. I'm under a lot of scrutiny on that. On everything we do in these leagues, people are up my butt about most of this stuff.
Oh, wow.
Seriously. So I am very careful and try to be very fair when deciding, trades and stuff like that. T-Licious says Harris plays bottom feeders. That's his secret. Well, he won't get away with that in Premier League.
All right.
He's not going to be playing bottom feeders.
We'll see.
Commando Duke says, just wondering, what were the names of Triple H's previous teams? Injury reserve, rehab, ICU? What is the name of your team, Harris?
I don't think I could say it on air, honestly. I think it's one of those.
We're going to end up saying these things on air, so you might want to pick a clean one now.
I'll pick a clean one now. Yep.
Lost Toby says, if that's Harris's strategy, then I take it back. Harris is going to finish last.
All right. See, I'm boom or bust. I'm never like middle of the pack. I'm always in the championship game or in the last place game because every single one of my guys got injured. It's always either or. That's how I've always been.
Moislin, that was for when we would give people rides in the 70s and 80s. I don't think that counts for fantasy football or any kind of bribing. He says, ask grass or cash. No, that's not. It was ask grass or gas. But it's still, we're not doing that. Chief Skull says the reason to not have 12 or 14 team leagues is what happened last year. A lot of running back injuries and the devaluation of the running back. Yeah. But now the value of running backs is going back up. So that was a temporary dip when it came to running backs. I think, and we do 2 running backs. So we got 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a flex, a kicker, and a defense. I think that is it.
Standard, yeah. And
pretty standard.
It's interesting because, years ago, we were seeing the committee with the Patriots and the Chiefs really take a step up. Now, you look at the top 2 offenses in the NFL, the Eagles and Ravens last year. Well, they had the 2 highest rushers, 2 best rushers in the NFL last year. So the running back it's coming back, Jeffrey.
Yeah, that's what I just said out loud.
Yeah, I was just excruciating. I was just emphasizing your point.
Beer Bob says, don't know if you've already talked about the 2 Suns candidates for head coach, but did you hear the Phoenix Suns will be rebranding with a new logo once Jordan Ott is announced? It's basically he put the Phoenix Spartans and he put the Spartans logo over the Phoenix Sun thing.
Yep. Yep, the Michigan State connection. He actually.
That's a Ron connection too. Radio Ron. That's where he went.
Oh, did he really?
Keep that in mind so you don't end up in
Maybe
trouble.
He could become the next coach of the Suns too. Maybe an assistant.
He really couldn't.
You don't think he could? You don't think he could handle it?
No, because we're dealing in reality. So here's how it works, Harris. The show deals in reality with humor, not fantasy.
I don't think Ron could handle it
I
because
don't
he'd have
think
to
he
stop
knows.
gambling.
He doesn't know anything about basketball, other than how to gamble a good parlay on it.
I know his son loves it.
Regal Beagle says, never had any interest in fantasy football, but I have a question. Why would you need to reject a trade? If somebody gets fleeced, so be it, because it's unfair to the other people in the league. So there's a power player who shakes down somebody for a player, or there's collusion involved. I have to watch out for that all the time. It's like making sure that, people aren't in leagues doing. I've tossed a couple of people for that.
Gotta be government oversight. And
so as far as what you're saying, Regal Beagle, so the rejection of a trade is more to protect the other players than the person who might get fleeced. That's why.
So the league I'm in at home, Jeffrey, this has caused this very issue that you've brought up has caused a lot of divide because we have the capitalist party and the socialist party in fantasy football. The capitalist party wants free market, nobody regulating any trades. If he wants to make it, he should make it. The socialist party is no, we need government oversight. This needs to be regulated. We can't have anyone just getting fleeced, and we need certain amount of regulation.
I bristle at that the labels you're putting on this, because here's the deal: where money is on the line in our leagues.
Yeah,
when money is on the line, some grown up has to stop people from colluding to steal the money from other people. So it's not socialist. It's not capitalist. It's legalist. I am Johnny Law. I don't like having to do it. I'd rather just let everybody just do whatever they want, but I have to. I have to, because then if somebody does that and all of a sudden they've got all the best players ever and they're just heading towards that cash prize, it's not fair to the other people in the league. And I'm going to have to hear about it.
I'll be honest. I was in the capitalist party back in high school in my domination, because I was the one that was taking all of the players. And so I was greedy, but I've since learned
you're a filthy cheater.
I was a filthy cheater. And I've since learned that with money, you need regulation. You need a certain amount of regulation. So I support that, Jeffrey.
Rocky Top says, Harris, what did Don Hicks have to say about your treatment on the show by the Fifth Dimension? Is he okay with their scrutiny?
He's okay with it. Yeah, he is actually, he's totally fine with it. He likes.
He doesn't get grumpy when I smack you around.
No, he doesn't actually. He doesn't get grumpy.
I was like in a fever dream, I think, the last time you were on the show, and I think I smacked your dad around. I was like, what did I say? I was just trying to be funny, and I was like, I think I might have came at his dad pretty hard there. I was like,
oh, I know exactly what you're.
I was like,
about.
He was in the car, and he says, hey, make sure you guys keep it clean. I'm like, don't tell us what to do with our show. I think I kind of got salty on that, and I wasn't serious. But then afterwards, I was like, oh, I wonder if he really thought I was serious.
I think, my dad, he sees this as another learning lesson for me, because you got to know how to take it sometimes. If you dish it, you got to know how to take it. And so that's how Dad sees it. And I frankly agree with him. To answer your question, Rocky Top.
I don't even remember the question.
He was asking if Dad was, or Don Hicks.
Doesn't mean I need to remember it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I don't remember it.
Yeah. That's
I just took a drink of delicious shake that my wife brought me.
Oh, what is it this time?
Same. It's the same.
Is it like the really healthy stuff?
I try not to ask too many questions.
Yeah, it's fair. Because here's the thing. That's how people get poisoned, though.
Yeah, but that's what I was about to say. I don't know if you know this, but a woman's way of murdering you is more likely going to be poisoned. If somebody gets poisoned, a woman was behind it. Men, well, we'll cut the brake line in your car because that's hilarious. But women, I don't think that's what she's doing. But if she is, all right, that's fine. If that's what it takes. But no, when she brings me these little health shakes, they always taste good, so I don't want to know. Don't tell me what's in it. Don't tell me what's healthy. Sometimes I end up chewing kale a little bit, and I'm like, I don't care for that part.
Yeah.
But the rest of it's pretty damn good. So, yeah, if a woman hands you a drink, just really hope you've been good to her.
Yeah. So you're saying she could be poisoning you?
Could be.
Could be.
I don't think. I hope not.
So if you just start dying, like right here on the show,
It was her.
it was her.
Yeah.
Noted.
No doubt. Jersey Murph says they probably have antifreeze in them. I think I'd notice antifreeze. I know what antifreeze smells like.
I don't know what that smells like, actually. Antifreeze?
Well, did you ever have your car overheat?
Yes, but not mine.
That's the smell.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I
Jersey
recognize that.
Murph says no, antifreeze tastes sweet. Yeah, I think I would know.
I had a friend's car when I took him to the airport. It was just like dated Subaru. And as soon as I got done taking him to the airport and heading back, the car nearly blew up. And I was in the middle of the airport traffic, smoke coming flaring out of the engine.
Well, that was his car, right?
Yep. It was his car, it wasn't mine.
Drive it till it's on fire.
Yeah, I
You're like, don't
I'm
make
trying to
me
get home.
strand me at the airport with your nonsense.
I tried.
All right,
Trust
listen.
me.
When we come back, let's go ahead and see which one do you want to talk about first, the NBA Finals or the Stanley Cup Finals? Which one do you want to talk about
I'd
first?
say NBA first.
All right, we'll do that when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
The Daily Blender is streamed live on YouTube. Search 1580 The Fanatic to watch.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Arizona businesses need more skilled workers, and our students are the solution. At the Pima Joint Technical Education District, we build the talent Arizona businesses rely on. With cutting-edge programs in health and technology and hands-on career training, our 30,000 students will graduate ready for high-demand careers. JTED builds the future of Arizona's workforce. Learn how our students will bring excellence to your business at pimajted.org. This message is sponsored by Potoff Private Philanthropy.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
We talk sports. 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. All right, let's. I was a little disappointed. That the Knicks didn't take it to 7, to be honest.
Oh, me too, man.
Because that was starting to get fun, and then the Pacers are like, nope. And that's fine, because now we got the Pacers versus the Oklahoma City Thunder, and that all starts on Thursday, right?
Yep, the finals that Adam Silver in the NBA never wanted. It's here.
Yeah, a couple of Midwest teams. The ratings for this are probably not going to be great.
Nope.
Or are they? Maybe there's enough baby star power on the Oklahoma City Thunder. I don't know about if you would really call. Well, I mean, I get the Pacers got some stars, but I mean, is it enough to move the needle to get people to watch?
I mean, this has been a great final or great playoffs for the NBA ratings wise. People will watch. The casual fan will be a little bit less attuned with it. Do I think it's going to be at an all-time low? No, I think it's going to be at a decent low.
Well, which one do you think was the all-time low? Which one do you think was the worst finals matchup you've ever seen?
Oh, ratings wise, I think it was when the Spurs played the Nets in, I think, 2003. When you get the Spurs and like, I love love the Spurs and everything about them, but to the casual basketball fan, they're not as intriguing as Shaq and Kobe or the Knicks or
Right.
anyone like that. And so that's probably the worst one ever.
Well, you got the Pacers and you got the Thunder. Oh, look, we got Ralph showing up. Speaking of lowly
would
rated.
you look
No.
at that?
He's getting hooked up right now.
There he is. Yep, I see him.
So you've got your MVP, and then you've got a bunch of other guys. So who's the most famous player? Is it Shea Gilgeous-Alexander? Is it Halliburton? Is it Siakam? Is it? I mean, it's got to be your MVP, right?
I'm not sure about that. After this series, I think it was SGA before this series happened. And then this Pacers Knicks series happened with a lot of people watching. Great ratings for them. I think it's Halliburton now.
I think it is Halliburton, which, by the way, for people like Ralph and I, the name Halliburton always makes you kind of go, what?
Why is that?
Well, there were some scandals back in the day during, was that Bush 1 or 2? Which one was that, Ralph? Is he even on?
Bush 1 or 2? He is. Yes,
I
he's
hear
on.
you playing with your mic, Ralph. You might as well talk.
Yeah.
Right? Why do you
Ralph
refuse?
is on.
I can't hear Jeffrey.
Oh, mixed
okay.
minus bridge.
Coming in.
There you go. Make sure you put me in the mixed minus bridge.
I didn't say it was a bad thing. I just said I couldn't hear him.
Oh no, I was enjoying
hear him now.
the peace and quiet of the last 45 minutes.
I've been enjoying the peace and quiet. Now that I think about it, I have too. I missed Randy though.
All right, so Halliburton. I was just talking about how the name Halliburton makes people our age kind of go, yeah, you know,
like halitosis, yeah.
A little bit of bribery, a little bit of
Halitosis.
FCPA violations going there,
Never
some
heard of this.
issues. What was that? That was Bush 1 or 2? That was during Bush 2, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah. So now they got a player named Halliburton, and that's just weird. Isn't that weird for you? That's weird for me.
It's weird for us older guys, yeah.
I don't even know what y'all are talking about.
No, you don't. You shouldn't.
No. Yeah.
It's just another scandal from the past. Everybody had one. Anyway, so Chief Skull says Halliburton was Bush 2. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought so. Kind of like around the Enron days, that kind of thing. So anyway, all right, Ralph, you got the Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Are you excited?
What a boring finals, right?
Can I just say I hate when people say stuff like that? Because here's the
Good, I'm
thing.
glad.
The best team got there.
And you think
for
the
the
NBA is
West.
happy
The
about
best
it?
team got there for the East.
But
these are the best teams. And
So?
if maybe this is something that everybody needs to say, okay, here are the new stars. Here are the guys. Because guess what? This whole NBA Finals thing, guess who's not going to be there? Millennials. Guess who's not going to be there?
Gen Z.
Anyone beyond that. It's Gen Z all the way. Every player in the NBA Finals is a Gen Z. This is the first
No
time
way.
you will have Gen Z champions who, no matter which team wins. So this is the new generation. So maybe people need to take a moment and educate themselves and get to know these players.
Yeah, but no one's going to watch this finals. This will be a low-rated finals because it's Indiana and Oklahoma City, 2 flyover states. Nobody cares.
True, but they'll probably get some great basketball to watch.
But
if you
no one
love
will watch
basketball.
it. But no one will see it.
I don't want no one.
I won't be. Are you going to watch it? I'm not going to watch it.
Jeffrey, I heard you call Oklahoma the Midwest.
Yeah.
I think it's the Midwest.
It's kind of the Midwest.
Hold on. I just had a map of the United States up earlier because my wife and I we're putting a map together of places we want to go see and places we definitely don't want to be. Oklahoma was a definitely don't want to be, but I consider it the Midwest. Yeah.
I thought you were moving there.
Not a chance.
Look, I spent a lot of time there the last few years, and I'm here to tell you that it's not a good place.
You think of that as the South or the Midwest?
I think it as Midwest.
Yeah.
I don't
Lower
think of it as the
Midwest.
Midwest.
It's
or-
lower Midwest. Yeah.
It might be like its own. Well,
it's there basically for one reason and one reason only.
To fly over.
Okay, 2 reasons.
To where? Arizona.
My computer is freezing up on me here as I try to get something.
Wait,
here.
what do you consider it, Harris?
You know, that's a good question. I would consider it the east part of it the South, and the rest of it the Midwest.
You know what it is? It's just there to protect Kansas from Oklahoma. That's it.
You have to put Oklahoma in a group with Texas. I think you have to put those two states together. I think you do.
Texas people don't think that.
I don't ask him much, Jeffrey.
do what I
I'm going to
want.
ask him this. I think you do.
And ask all you want. How's it feel to want?
It's common.
I'm very rich. I can do whatever I want. I can
I'm
change
very
the name of the
rich.
Gulf of Mexico if I,
can't
want.
say the same.
It's the Gulf
Yeah.
of Jeffco. That's what that is now.
The Gulf of Jeffrey.
I'll change. Look, Ralph. Your
Yes.
name is now Raul.
You're not that rich.
I'm rich.
I'm richer.
Well, you can't change my name.
I probably could. I already have. Just don't know it.
After this pizza,
I think I'd feel it.
I call you Whitey.
Whitey.
I imagine a lot of people do behind my back. Gringo.
I would never do that to you, Jeffrey.
Yes, you would.
No, I wouldn't.
Please
I would
don't.
never do that.
Do it.
Moist one is all for the Pacers. He says, "Go Pacers! Halaban unite!" Oh, I don't think they're going to call
Oh.
themselves the Halaban. Firefarter says, "For me, it's weird to see players named Watergate, Bay of Pigs, and Cuban Missile Crisis." Yeah, it is strange the names that people have come up with.
That is odd.
Tank Blood says, "Boring final. It'll probably be the best finals we've had in 10 years."
It might be some really good basketball, but no one's going to watch it.
I'll watch.
I
Well,
wish
if
the
you have
Knicks
to,
were
it's your
there.
job. But other than that, no one's going to really watch it.
No, there's just nothing on TV right now. Rocky Mountain High says Oklahoma is not the Midwest. It is a Great Plains state. Guess where the Great Plains are, Rocky Mountain High?
The Midwest.
The Midwest.
I was going to say. That's,
Yeah. Yeah. Oklahoma's a weird one. It's kind of like West Virginia, where I don't know if you put West Virginia in the Midwest. I don't know if you put it in the
What?
South.
No,
West
that's
Virginia
northeast.
is on the east. Is
That's
it
the
northeast?
Northeast.
That's northeast.
West Virginia?
It's just a mountain.
east.
It's just a big mountain with people on it with no teeth.
Just
I mean, that's all it
culturally
is.
doesn't align with the Northeast whatsoever.
Culturally aligns with nothing.
I didn't say
Nothing.
northeast. I'm
And
calling
a
it
little bit of South, like a little bit.
Well, it's got a lot of it of south in it.
I mean, they're
Yeah.
racist like the South.
Yeah,
but,
I mean-
technically they're just east.
it's just a big mountain with people with no teeth living. I mean, I've been there. It's ridiculously horrible.
Yeah, and one of the
It's
things
beautiful, but horrible.
Once you
that
get
has
to know
come
those
up with
people, they're not that
on
bad,
our
Ralph.
map list is places that are racist we don't want to go. And look at me. I'm a honky as a cracker can be. I
Yes,
just
you
don't
are.
want to be around racists.
Yeah.
You know,
But you fit in.
I look like I'd be somebody you'd see at the meeting,
You're a little racist.
but I mean, I have that look,
Yeah,
but
you do.
I am anything but.
I don't know.
Let me see here. Yeah, Virginia and West Virginia. West Virginia is way more rednecky than
Well-
actual Virginia, but it is further north than actual Virginia. That's always been
It is
confusing.
odd.
Virginia is considered mid-Atlantic. I lived in Virginia. That's a
Hmm.
mid-Atlantic state.
You lived everywhere.
I have lived all over the country. But yeah,
Yeah.
Virginia's
I got
a mid-Atlantic state.
Red X's over most every state, and then a couple of green question marks of places where I'm like,
Well,
not sure yet.
Do you have an X over Virginia?
Yes.
No, go to
Really?
Virginia.
Virginia's
I've got
cool.
the only thing I have open in the South. It's not Red X.
That's not
it's
South.
Tennessee,
Yes.
North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia.
Okay, so Virginia is not the South; it's the Mid-Atlantic, and it's one of the most beautiful states you can go to. I'm telling you, you go to Virginia.
I like Virginia.
That whole valley area is unbelievable, especially in the fall. It's
Mm-hmm.
ridiculously beautiful.
I'm thinking more Montana, Wyoming. I'm more of that kind of guy.
Yeah, those are-
In fact,
those
we
are
actually
racist.
had a conversation about Alaska. So
Hmm.
Alaska's great sometimes.
she
Never
said
been.
Hawaii is a bit humid, and I don't
Well,
like humid.
it is an island. I mean,
I don't like hot humid. I don't mind cool humid. I don't like hot humid.
you have North Carolina and South Carolina on there.
Those are great
Well,
states.
I've only visited during nice weather.
I mean, I've lived in South Carolina. As long as you stay on the main road, you're all right. You get off that main road, you might have some issues.
Well, I
Learn
still
You'll
something.
fit in,
says
but-
just go to DC and then visit Virginia. No, my wife made me put a big old red X on DC. She don't want nothing to do with that.
No, you have to
Mm.
visit DC.
Don't have to do anything.
You do. It's actually all the museum, the the national whole thing there. It's
I've
amazing.
always wanted
We
to
both
go,
agree
Ralph.
Texas is a bad idea,
No,
but
Texas
the
is great.
north part of Texas might be worth taking a look at.
Maybe we could visit DC together, Jeffrey.
Yeah, that'll never happen, Harris. I can't barely take 3 hours a day of you. I don't imagine how a road trip is going to go or an
Oh, it'd be
airplane.
so fun. We could listen to songs.
I'd be the guy trying to open up the airplane door to suck me out of the plane because put that down as things that will never happen. 0% chance.
$100. A beer on the wall.
Moist one says most of Montana is butt cheeks. So is Wyoming.
Butt cheeks.
Really? Well,
what does he mean, butt cheeks?
Butt cheeks.
It's booty. It's he says it's not a good place to go.
Well, I mean, there's
So
nothing
funny.
there, but
Doesn't he live there?
Moist one's from there, yeah.
Yeah. Butt cheeks. I don't know why I thought that was so funny.
Fish Tank says you have to stop commenting on everything you think is funny on the show, Harris. This is you're gonna slow down the entire operation if you keep doing that.
Sorry.
Fish Tank says I had to stop in Oklahoma City on a cross country drive, and when you leave a place and get to Albuquerque and say to yourself, "Wow, this is way better than where I was,"
that's not true.
No,
that's a problem.
Stop
Come on,
it.
Oklahoma City actually has some really nice areas in it. That's not true.
Oklahoma
I spent a lot of
City-
time there.
Albuquerque has nothing on
Albuquerque
Oklahoma
is a
City.
meth haven.
It is the worst state
one of the
in the
worst.
U.S.
Yeah,
and the
it's one of the
worst
worst.
possibly city in the U.S.
Oh, maybe Arkansas, but yeah,
Prison-
it's
No, Arkansas.
Mississippi.
Prison
No.
Wallet says, Jeffrey, you say you're not a
No.
racist, but use derogatory terms to describe people from certain parts of the state or certain groups of people. Well,
That's true.
thank you, Prison
There
Wallet,
are-
because
yep.
the definition of racism is not that. If I say you've got some rednecks and over at Apache Junction in Buckeye, and we should have a redneck Olympics and have them compete for a toothbrush for their tooth, then that's not racism. If I have things to say about racists in the South or hippies in the North or this or that, that's not racism. Racism is judging somebody or treating them different based on the color of their skin. If I say, hey, the Mormons are coming, and it's like, you mean the Utah Jazz? I'm like, yeah, that also not racism. Also, ask yourself, how derogatory is a little bit of teasing? Just come on, man. Big George says, Jeffrey, listen to Ralph. Go to Virginia, the capital of the Confederacy. They're not
No.
racist at all there.
I'm telling you, go look at the Shenandoah Valley.
He
It is
was being
unbelievable.
sarcastic,
Yeah,
I
but
think.
Shenandoah Valley is unbelievable.
Virginia's cool. I really like that state. My mom, we talked about this literally last time I was here with you, Ralph, but my mom goes up there to ride her horse all the time, and it is
I
a
bet.
scenic state.
It's amazing.
Is that how she gets there?
Yeah.
On horse?
We have a
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Lost
Oh,
Toby
wow.
says if they don't have sports in the city or state, they should be an automatic no.
Well, they don't have
That's
sports
pretty
in
good.
Arizona. I mean, professional sports anyway.
Prison Wallet says you're not really racist. You're more of a bigot.
Wow.
Called him a
Man.
I'd rather be
Wow.
a bigot than a racist.
Wow.
I don't
Wow.
think I'm either. But if you had to choose, he says, I'm just teasing. I love you, man.
You bigot.
You bigot.
You
Yeah, you,
filthy bigot.
you racist bigot.
Oh, comedy. Anyway, we didn't get to talk a bit about this matchup between the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. So, Ralph, I'm not going to let you even talk hockey until we get done talking about the NBA.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, because I know you're going to try to get a.
Okay.
The whole thing we just had as a conversation was designed to stop me from talking about the NBA. I'm on to you.
Bigot.
Bigot.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom. That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from
We can be twinsies.
to
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom.
freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank NA, member FDIC.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Finding yourself skipping your self-care routine, experiencing things around you others don't, or withdrawing from friends and family. You might be experiencing first episode psychosis, or FEP. Stress, trauma, substance use, even genetics can trigger it. And if you're in your late teens to mid-20s, it's impacting you more than others. Know the signs of FEP. Go to learnmorefep.org. Sponsored by MatForce, working to build healthier communities.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful DC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa! And outrun a few.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now, Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000 MSRP. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa. All prices are manufacturer suggested retail price. Manufacturer suggested retail price excludes destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. But look, Ralph from Harvard Solar showed up. Hi, Ralph. Hi. They got Harris back from his vacation. He's in the control room.
Hi, Ralph.
Hey, Harris.
Hey, Jeffrey.
Yeah. Then we got you guys on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Oh, Ralph, you're Italian.
I am.
Your state of origin is blowing the hell up. Italy's Mount Etna just blew, and just tourists are scampering for their lives.
Well, as long as Vesuvius didn't blow, we're good.
Hey, it's Volcano Day somewhere, and that's today for Etna. I don't know how much civilization is around.
I was going to
Etna.
say, where's Etna? That's north, isn't it?
Like, I'm not Italian.
Well, obviously you're not.
I just
White.
keep seeing the picture of the thing blowing up over and over again.
I have to look that up, see if my people are okay.
Jeffrey, did you say you were Swedish?
Never said that.
It's Irish, dude.
Irish.
Who
That's
said
right.
Swedish?
I don't know where
He's
I
white
heard.
enough to be Swedish.
I don't know where I heard Swedish. I don't know, but Irish. Yes.
Grand Mariner, I saw that.
Oh, that's in Sicily.
Grand Mariner, I saw that. He says, you watch King of the Hill, Ralph? Jonathan Joss Gonzalez, the voice of an actor who starred in King of the Hill, was shot and killed Sunday in Texas. He was 59. Yeah. It was a hate crime. The dude was standing there with his husband, and somebody that they'd been harassed over and over again. Somebody killed their dog, and they were standing there like they had found the body of the dog, and they were sort of just grieving and crying. A guy came up on him and just like, "Hey, homo," and then he killed him. It was a total hate crime.
Are you trying to isolate that to Texas? Is that why he's saying that?
No, I don't know about that.
Hate crime.
That is a thing that just happened today. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you just had that hate crime was it in Colorado? Where
Colorado,
the guy
yeah.
flamethrower? I mean,
that was Boulder seems like such a nice little place, and this guy came out there and tried to flamethrow and Molotov cocktail.
Crazy.
Some Jewish people who were, having a little march about Palestine or something.
I mean, all I would say to that is a small percentage of the people in this country are nuts.
Yep.
And this is what you see them do, and it's unfortunate.
And the more people we get, the more this stuff happens. The more the
right.
population goes up, the more this happens. And there's, we're not here to get into the psyche of all of that. But yeah, God, Texas is a mess. I mean,
I love Texas.
Yeah, but there's a lot about it that's just
You
Not
don't.
great.
I've lived there for like 7 years. I mean, I've lived
For
all over
you,
Texas.
Texas is great.
I lived in Houston. I lived in Midland,
I'm
Odessa
sure
with the oil
you
people. I lived
love
in
Texas.
Dallas. Yeah, it's just a great place. I mean, and there's the people. I'm gonna tell you honestly, the people in Texas, for the most part, are fantastic.
Ralph, I
They're
need
really
an
good people.
abortion. I want to know I can get one.
Oh my gosh, but you're not
Oh
cynical.
no,
Here
Ralph.
we go.
I'm with you. I like.
I
Texas
might
too.
need one right now. I don't know. Or I just have to get some stool softener.
The people
I'm
in
not
the-
sure what's happening right now.
The
with me.
people in the middle part of the country are just very nice people. I don't know how else to say it.
When I would do stand up and I'd be driving through Texas, I'd be going on down the road, and it was freaking me out at first, being from Arizona and spending a lot of time in LA and New York. I'd be driving along, and all of a sudden cars would pull off the road almost like at their own peril, and I'd be like, whoa. And then you drive by and they're waving at you. They're just getting out of your way and being friendly. And I'm just like, this is weird. This is
Big
unsettling for
adjustment
me.
from Arizona.
It's pretty cool.
Yep.
Fish Tank says Volcano Day. Is that where we all unload all the things we don't like about our significant others to their face and then see who survives the aftermath? Wow. That is a bad idea, Fish Tank. But what day would you say, if we were going to make a day, Volcano Day, where you just unload on your significant other like that?
Oh, that's every day.
Fish Tank is in a band though, so he can do that, but make it into a song with a guitar, and then everything, and get his band.
Passive
and then
aggressive
bam.
it.
Yep. Boom.
Yeah, I don't suggest
can
you
get
ever
paid
do
for
that.
Fish Tank.
I would suggest you try to maintain your relationship in such a nice way that you guys talk things through as you go and don't say. It's a very Irish thing though to do, though,
Is he
to
still in a
save it
relationship?
up for until you can't take it anymore, and then Volcano Day.
Are you still in a relationship?
Me?
No,
Me?
Harris.
I
Oh.
am. I am.
You are with that mustache, really?
I know. What's his name again?
He looks
Oh,
like
that was a
he
good
looks like a 70s porno guy. I mean, come on, you gotta cut that off.
I can't believe you still have it.
Oh, dude, I'm keeping.
You know, it doesn't make you look grown up, right?
False. Actually,
It does
Did you say
not
false?
make you
I
look
said
grown
false.
up. It looks like you're
It
a
looks fake.
kid wearing
got
a
it from Party
fake
City.
mustache, and like if we took the jacket and opened it, we'd see two little kids underneath, like in Little Rascals is stumbling. Well, at your height, another kid underneath, just one.
What you
But
need
still,
what you need to do is grow a goatee. Let's see what it looks like.
Party City was running a discount,
Do the goatee because
so I had to get it.
the mustache on its own. I don't know, man.
So
you
actually,
look a bit date rapey, is what we're trying to
Yeah,
tell
I
you.
know. little
Oh
bit.
no. So when I went to we went to a place in Seattle, and I had to get carded in Georgia. And actually, usually they look at me and they take like 20.
Dude, you were with your
That would
family,
take like
and they were just
5
probably
minutes.
like, just
It'll
let
take
them
like
have
5 minutes, and they looked at me, and they were like, "Huh, you're good." And I was like, "Dude."
it. You were with your family.
Raised my fist up, and I was like, "Guys, look at me. I'm growing up." This is a big moment for me.
Jeffrey, doesn't he look at the hair and the mustache? Think back. I know I hate to use this reference, but think back to John Holmes. Doesn't he look a little bit like that?
John Holmes.
Who's John Holmes?
I'm not telling you.
I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up.
I don't think
John
I remember.
Come
Holmes.
on.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's why I don't know. I didn't watch.
But look
the-
at forget what he did. Just look at his
No,
face.
I see what he did.
He's got the wavy hair. He's got that little stash going on. He looks a lot like
I didn't watch porn when I was growing
him. Sure, you
up.
didn't. I know you were a good Catholic.
No, I
gotta know. I
didn't.
know.
I just
you were
didn't have
doing
access
altar
to
boy.
anything interesting.
Yeah,
Not that I
know.
wouldn't have.
But he looks a lot like him. He has the hair. He has the mustache. Dude,
See,
it's
I
not
don't
a
have
good
the
look.
wavy hair like he does, though. I got the pretty
What do you-
tight curls.
It's waving there.
It's pretty curly.
Quiet Cannon, that's a good question. He says, honestly, Jeffrey, you have a criticism on every single state. Do you have a state that you like?
Good
That's
question.
a good question.
Oh my gosh. No, I can't. That's what we're trying to figure out right now, Quiet Cannon. We are trying to figure out where our future is, like when I retire or win the lottery or something like that.
What do you want? Like, what do you like? What are your key things that you want?
Nice weather and, just in
So
place that's not crazy.
By saying nice weather, that limits you so much.
I know. Colorado is looking pretty good, except for my wife is worried about like when we're trying to get health care and we're older and everybody's stoned out of their mind.
It's not nice weather in Colorado.
No, it's.
I
very
like
cold.
it cold.
Do you like it cold?
So does my wife.
Well,
And
that's
you
why
live
she
in
married you.
Arizona.
Yeah, you live in the hottest state in the country.
The hottest state in the country.
I'm not here because I want to be, and my parents drugged me here, and I just was too dumb to leave when I had the chance.
So outside of nice weather, which apparently you don't think is really nice weather, what else are you looking for?
That's it. Just
that's not nice weather. You can't say nice weather in
trees
Colorado.
and grass and decent weather. And
have you looked at Kansas?
It's a nice, peaceful place to live.
Look,
but Kansas has got a whole lot of nothing. I've been through Kansas.
It's
and
beautiful though.
I think I kind of
Has
like
a
a little
lot of
more
grass.
terrain than that.
Kind of, not really. There's states that are greener.
There's a lot of nice looking states on the eastern side of the country too. I mean, it just depends what you're looking for.
Well, I think I need to go on tour in the Northeast, but I really am looking forward to spending some time in Montana and Wyoming and maybe Washington
How
State.
about Maine?
I'm not opposed to that idea.
Maine's gorgeous. I mean, it's just it's cold.
I love Washington. Washington is a cool state.
Washington State?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Washington.
Beautiful Pacific Northwest. It's
Yep.
really chill.
Pacific Northwest is awesome. Well, you're
It
from
is.
Oregon. I mean, you know that.
Yeah.
Go live in Oregon.
Do you ever go to Washington?
You asking me?
I'm asking you.
Oh, yeah, I've been up there.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I just, Oregon, I couldn't live in Portland, but because that's a
Yeah.
mess. But
nobody could.
And Oregon's becoming like California when it comes to, the way they run stuff. Not caring for that.
Oh no.
Beer Bob says, Jeffrey, does the radio station drug test? Because doesn't seem like they do with Harris. He's been saying all kinds of stuff today. He's had a little too much fun on vacation. Thinking you might have to do a random drug test. Well, the only reason in radio we do drug tests is to see who else can get the stuff. So you're probably right, though. King of Kitten says, suck it, Ralph. Who you guys got in the Belmont Stakes on Saturday? Kentucky Derby winner Sovereignty or Preakness winner Journalism? Well, first off, Sovereignty, he's not running. Well, I thought
he missed the Preakness, but I thought he was coming back.
Oh, is he going to come and do this one? Okay.
I like Journalism. The Journalist, whatever. I like that horse. The horse.
Me
from,
too.
it's the Santa Anita horse. I like him a lot.
Me too. Yeah. Represent the profession. Love it.
Lost Toby says Ralph's favorite state is the state of denial. I would say delusion, but whatever. Fish Tank says, with a name like Patrick James Cassidy, I am very Irish. I believe the old saying, I'll leave all my problems right here in my gut, and then someday I'll die. Yeah. Well, you
It's
probably
pretty
shouldn't do
Irish.
Volcano Day. 6346. You're going to need a texter nickname, although I'm not really looking to tell him what to do because he scares me. You know how you always say you got a guy, Ralph?
Yeah.
This is a guy.
Oh, this is my guy?
Not your guy. This
Could
is
be
a
my
guy. He says, hey, if you need an abortion, you can't get one in Arizona. I know a guy.
I know a guy.
He's a doctor. He can get your wife an abortion for free, capiche?
So this is a Guido?
Evidently.
Ah, well, Guido, you got to get a name. I can help you.
I guess we'd call him Guido if he wants.
That's a great name. Guido, Mario.
Hefty Lefty says, you like the cold? Very nice people in North Dakota. Not many people, but the percentage of nice people is pretty high.
Yeah.
Might be too cold. I don't know if my
I was
wife
gonna
will go
say,
that.
do you like it cold or do you like it like freezing cold?
I was in Minnesota. I don't care for that state, but I was in Minnesota in negative 16 degrees, walking down the street in St. Paul backwards with my little parka on, trying to get to the building where the radio station was at. And I was fine. I didn't mind that at all.
Yeah, but you don't want to live in that as you get older.
No, probably not.
Yeah, you got to stay away from the real cold as you get
You don't want to retire in Florida?
Oh,
Like
that
the
was the
rest of the
first
guys?
place my wife says red
No.
X. No. Bruno Baller says, Jeffrey, just get a big old decked out RV and go wherever you want. I might have to do that till I finally find where we're going to go. We're not that picky about life.
I disagree. I
We
think
just
you're
are looking
very
for-
picky about the states, but
No,
about
just-
life.
Okay. Oh, I'm picky. Don't want to be around racists. I mean, that's going to be hard. Big George says, Jeffrey, I'm going to be moving to Washington State. Come join me. Well, I thought you were coming back here, you liar. Against the Spread says, it's a shame you're leaving Arizona, Jeffrey. Oh, I'm not anytime soon. I'm talking about just where we might go retire. And I'm open to snowbirding it. I'm open to that idea.
That's what I'm going to do.
Because I still love Arizona. I love the state. I do love it. I just can't stand this heat.
Yeah, this heat sucks.
It's hard, man.
Against the Spread says, by the way, Oklahoma is not in the Midwest. It's in the southern Great Plains. It's offensive to people in the Midwest to say those ignorant Okies are part of our region.
Yeah, that's the part they get mad at. The region part, not the ignorant Okies.
No, I can understand that against the spread. But speaking of that, can we please, for the love of God, talk about the matchup? I know it's not the most popular. It's not going to be a great amount of ratings, but here we are. The Oklahoma City Thunder have home court advantage over the Indiana Pacers. Why do they have home court advantage? Because they have better record.
Better record.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the
68
OKC is 68-14. Pacers are 50-32. Right now, here's the betting lines on at least the first game. I don't know if anybody has a betting line on the entire, finals, but on the first game, OKC 9.5 point favorites, and on the money line, you got Indiana at plus 320 and OKC at minus 425. So is it that cut and dry? Is Oklahoma City going to go through the Pacers like a Christmas goose or what?
I don't think it's that cut and dry. I feel like
it's going to be closer than this.
I'm going to pick Oklahoma City to win straight up. And if you watched the amazing Gen Z Millennial Takeover episode with me and Phil, I actually picked the Pacers. Phil, of course, happily agreed with me as usual. Happily. And
one of them must die. That's what I think.
And I told people to bet on the Pacers at plus 130 is an amazing value. I'll take that bet along with my free pizza from Donnie. Donnie's been mighty quiet.
No, Donnie's actually here.
He's here.
He says,
hello, Donnie. Good to see you.
Donnie goes, hey, I'll help you pack and move, Jeffrey. I'm free this weekend. Up yours, Donnie. He says, tell new guy to share his Venmo on Twitter.
I will.
In a direct message. Don't put that out on the.
I could put it out and people
can pay you.
Pay me. Yep.
All right, you do what you want.
$1 billion.
You got Donnie on the Twitters?
Do I have? I do not. I can find him. Find him.
It's none of my business.
Yeah.
I just thought I was going to get in on this pizza though. Big Jeffrey, George says, eventually, Jeffrey, I'll be moving. Not today or tomorrow, but within 10 years. But don't waste my time, Big George. Don't waste my time. Can we talk about the damn game again?
I can tell you who's going to win.
Eh?
I can tell you who's going to win.
OKC.
Well, yeah, they're going to win the series.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be even close.
Really?
That's a shame.
OKC went through some really good teams to get where they're at, and they're a great team. A lot of chemistry, everything working. If you look at Indiana, this reminds me of the Indiana the year that the Lakers played it back in 2000, I think, or 2001. They're good, but they're not great. They beat they beat an injured Boston team. They beat an overrated Knicks team. They're going to get smoked in this series. This is like 5-6 games max.
So we've gone back to West versus East, West domination.
Yeah, I believe so. I think this will be a dominating West victory again. So
I think people are sleeping again on the Pacers.
Yeah, they're going to sleep on
people have been all the time. Indiana has been, since the All-Star break, one of the best teams record-wise in the NBA. I think they've had the best record in the East since the All-Star break or something like that. First or second best.
In the East, yeah.
And here's the thing about why I think this is going to be close is Oklahoma City has the guys to throw at Anthony Edwards. They had the guys with Caruso, Dort, Jalen Williams even, etc. Against Indiana, they have what Minnesota lacked, which is a second option. Pascal Siakam is that second option, as we learned against the Knicks when he was the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, which that is controversial, but I think he should have won it. So Indiana's got two options. I think that's going to mess with Oklahoma City a little bit. Mind I tell you, Oklahoma City beat Denver in 7 games, and Denver wasn't necessarily at full strength with Aaron Gordon hurt, with Michael Porter battling a shoulder injury. I think this Oklahoma City team is a little bit less invincible than people think they are. They had a great regular season, but I think Indiana's going to give them a run for their money. I'm not going to pick Indiana straight up. I'm going to pick Oklahoma City, but I am going to say Indiana to win the series at plus 500. It's a great value there.
So Pacers, how's their defense?
It's good. Their defense is improving. It's very good.
Well, improving ain't going to get this done. They got to be on top
It's
of
a
it.
good defense. They force a lot of turnovers. They don't force as much as Oklahoma City does, but with guys, they have a lot of length with guys like Miles Turner and Siakam. So I think that can give Oklahoma City a lot of trouble.
Hefty Lefty says Pacers have the best roster of the final four teams to match up with OKC. I don't think the Pacers are going to win, but they'll have the personnel to make it a fun series to watch. That's all you can ask for in a finals is good basketball. And a lot of times it takes stars to create good basketball. So, sometimes there are stars and you can't see them because, they're not famous yet, but that doesn't mean the Pacers don't have a good lineup.
They do. They have a good lineup. They're capable of this. Tyrese Halliburton, by the way, being voted the most overrated NBA player. I want to see those names of people who legitimately thought and voted him as the most overrated NBA player, because that is hogwash. Bolsheviki.
Hogwash?
Bolsheviki.
You watch your mouth, Harris.
I'm sorry, Jeffrey.
Beer Bob says, Ralph, how does losing in 6 games out of 7-game series classify as getting smoked? Do we need another drug test in there, Jeffrey?
4-2, baby. It's a smoke.
Well, it's not smoked.
I still think it could happen in 5. Look, they got Alexander, who's a superstar, who's going to be all over them, right? They have an elite defensive core compared to what Indiana has. They're going to shut Indiana's shooting down. You're going to see the difference. And the 3-point shooting of Oklahoma is outrageous. You're going to see this team just go off. I mean, they're young, they're quick, and they don't have an answer for them. Indiana's not going to have an answer for these guys. It's going to be quick and painless.
Dimeback Dude says, so Ralph says that OKC will sweep or win in 5? Okay, time to pick Indy to win. Fade Ralph after his prediction the Dallas Stars would win against Edmonton.
I mean, you know what? This weekend we gave, I can't remember, it was fifth letter. We gave him a 3-game parlay. Right? I gave him a piece of it, and he won. So I know what I'm talking about.
I also picked Edmonton, by the way. Not trying to toot my
And I've been saying Edmonton will win the cup. That's who
we're not talking hockey yet.
So,
okay, now shut.
Just saying.
Fish Tank says 9.5-point spread is not about to help viewership on this game. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, listen, everybody's probably right. This is probably going to go down as one of the lower rated finals, but I still think it'll be good.
I'm entertained by it.
Against the spread says Triple H, if you like the Pacers to win the series at plus 500, you may as well take Indiana to win the game at plus 300.
Plus 320. Yeah, I think you can get some value there. One bet that I do like is the series total is at an over-under of 5.5 games, and the over is at plus 115. I think that Oklahoma City is going to win this in probably 6 or 7. Indiana, I think, has it in them. So plus 115 is a good value to take that at.
So Lost Toby has sort of made me think of something real fast, and I'm going to check it real quick. He says best record in the East. He says because the East is booty. Well, the best record in the East regular season was the Cleveland Cavaliers, 64-18.
Yeah, it wasn't
64 and 18. Sorry. But the Pacers did not have the best record in the East, not even close.
No,
so
they did not.
Swave Dave says, Jeffrey, my wife and I are contemplating the same thing you are. We love Arizona, but we're not sure about staying here in the Phoenix area. I'm thinking about moving north, but staying in Arizona. If you were to do the same thing, what town do you like in northern Arizona? Well, I really like Pine Top Sholo, but it's getting hotter there. It's starting to really heat up. And then Flagstaff, there's a whole lot of damn hippies and students and stuff. It seems kind of
just look at Prescott if you're going to go.
Prescott is still getting too hot for me.
I kind of like it. I like the hippies.
I need it cooler than that, So I don't know, Slave Dave. Maybe I should go on a little tour further north.
Antarctica?
Maybe. I'm not kidding about Alaska. I'm
Greenland.
Montana, Alaska. I don't know why Moistlin doesn't like it, but those seem like the kind of places I'd feel pretty well at home.
I'm really looking forward to this road trip between you and I, Jeffrey. I think we're really going to
road trip. You will never be in a car with me ever. Just put that
in the trunk.
Road trip.
Lost tow. You might be in standing on the road in front of where I'm driving, but you'll never be. And then you might briefly roll across the hood, but you'll never otherwise be in a car with me.
I'll be hanging in the car like this, and the windows will be going, and my hair will just be the wind will be getting. I'll just be hanging on. You'll be like, I'm trying to get him off, and then turn, and I'll just be hanging on.
I wouldn't try it. Lost Toby says I was commenting on Harris saying that they had the best record in the second half. Oh yeah,
one of the best records in the second half. Not
impressive
best.
when it's the East though. You're right, Lost Toby. You're right.
They've just been playing way better basketball since the All-Star break. Was my point.
When we come back, let's check in with the Phoenix Suns and their horrible. I'm sorry, in their I'm going to say it, horrible coaching search. I don't know about these names that are coming up. A whole lot of who, what, huh?
Yeah.
Somebody's looking for yes men. That's what it smells like to me. We'll talk about it when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Miss any part of the Daily Blender? Download the free podcast at 1580thefanatic.com.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom.
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from
We can be twinsies.
to
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom.
freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank NA, member FDIC.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-555-2085. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems. And if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-555-2085. That's 800-555-2085. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-555-2085.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful DC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa. And outrun a few.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now, Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000 MSRP. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa. All prices are manufacturer's suggested retail price. Manufacturer's suggested retail price excludes destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
Your best plan to retire might be right under your roof. This is Rob Canier, and for over 20 years, I've helped people discover how they can utilize a portion of their equity in their home as a coordinated strategy in retirement planning, thus creating additional monthly cash flow, paying less taxes, and making their retirement assets last longer. This is a safe and proven retirement strategy for qualified homeowners age 62 and older. All you have to do is reverse your thinking. Call me, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773.
The Rich Eisen Show. Why are we talking about the tush push so much? And the reason why, I think, is because it runs counter to what the NFL is all about, to want to ban it because you don't have the ability to stop it. I understand there are some who said it's a pace of play thing, it's a health and safety thing, but the general sense of the public is that that's just a fig leaf for teams that feel we can't stop it.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at 9 a.m. on 1580 The Fanatic.
It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I am told that I am supposed to tell you where we are on the social medias. So I will tell you. We are at 1580 The Fanatic, pretty much wherever we are. On the Twitter or X, at 1580 The Fanatic. On the Facebook, at 1580 The Fanatic. On the Instagram, at 1580 The Fanatic. I don't know if we're supposed to be anywhere else. Are we supposed to be anywhere else, Harris? Are we supposed to be on like the Grinder or something that you're on?
The what that I'm
Well,
on?
I just figured you were on that.
No.
Do we have to be on the Snapchat, or is that already like
No,
dead and
that's
gone?
probably not. Like
TikTok? Do we need to dance? Does Ralph and I need to do like a little dance on
I
TikTok?
think Randy. He needs to do a dance on TikTok.
Well, Randy is a good dancer. Randy had a dance off of
very-
Charlie Boy that one time at a remote.
Very
and,
elegant dancer.
That was a very special moment. But so do we need to be on the TikTok?
You don't need to be, but
Where
it
do
would
we
be
need to be?
preferred. It would be preferred. YouTube is the main one.
Well, we're on YouTube right
and
now.
Twitter is good for graphics, and YouTube is great for shorts and little 5 minute.
So we need to wear our
clips.
shorts, Ralph. Make sure you wear shorts.
I never
when we're
wear
on
shorts.
YouTube.
You never wear shorts?
I'm kidding.
You got horrible legs, huh?
Dude,
my legs
I'm
are
a
fantastic.
I'm shorts guy.
I wear
Huge
shorts all the
guy.
time, dude.
You know you're not supposed
You
to
do
wear
wear
shorts at
shorts.
the station.
Actually, now that I think about it, you do.
You know you're not supposed to wear shorts at the
I
station.
mean, Ralph wears pants. So just kidding.
You can't.
I don't
What do you mean? I
think
wear shorts.
Harris
at the
is
station.
listening. Harris, it's actually a rule. You have to wear pants when you're at the station.
Pants at the station. You hear
Yeah.
that, Ralph?
That's not a rule.
That is a rule. It's always been, and everybody
I've-
hates it.
I've worn shorts there. Well, I don't work for you guys.
You're a
so
client. You're not a employee. So, Harris client is not a client. Harris is an employee, and we want to
Yes.
make sure that when clients come to the radio station, they don't see their horrible, hairy, or pale, or scraggly legs.
I don't think I have horrible. I don't think
Of course,
I have
you're a
horrible
hybrid,
pale.
Ralph. You're
Like,
a
I'm a
hybrid.
hybrid. I've been told that before.
I think you're sleeping on my legs, Jeffrey.
Diamondback Dude says you guys need to be on TikTok. That's where Gen Z and Gen Alpha hangs.
This is true.
Maybe
Except
that's
I
a
don't have TikTok.
I don't know
good
about
reason to
TikTok,
not.
man.
I used to have TikTok.
I don't think you need to be on TikTok. I just don't.
I think you.
I think
Truth
YouTube is the-
Social. We need it on Truth
No,
Social.
no. YouTube is your key, and I think X is important because X is about it's more news reporting, like sports news.
Most
think
one thinks we
X-
should be on Ashley Madison. I don't think so.
I don't know
Yeah,
what that is.
Instagram is nice too. You get on Instagram.
Rocky Mountain High says you should be on Indeed and LinkedIn.
Stupid.
Oh,
Donnie says, Jeffrey, lend me $30 so I can pay Harris. I had a bad weekend of gambling. Nope.
Who texted that?
Donnie.
Oh, let's go. Yep.
Quiet
That's
Cannon
right,
says,
Donnie.
Jeffrey, did Randy take the day off to interview with the Diamondbacks for the management position to replace Torey Lavello, who's currently circling the drain? Yeah, I don't even want to talk about the Diamondbacks. I don't. There's nothing good that comes of that
No.
conversation.
Nothing good right now.
Sister.
I mean, here's all I'm going to say about the Diamondbacks. We've won 2 out of the last 10. We've lost series. We've got swept by the Cardinals, beaten by the Pirates and the Nationals and the Dodgers. And, listen, the Dodgers have been happy to split with the Dodgers. But these other teams, if somebody is not having a very serious conversation about letting some people go right now, I'm angry. There's no way we should be this. At the beginning of the season, we had a lot of talent sitting there, and we don't afford or pay for as much talent as the Dodgers. But we thought, hey, this is a team just on sheer talent that could give them a run for their money, even though they keep buying up like the worst monopoly players ever. But we thought, hey, we're going to at least give them a run for their money. And no, we're not. We're not giving them a run for anything.
Nope.
We stink right now. And I hate to sound like George, but we do. The Diamondbacks just stink right now, and somebody needs to answer for it, and maybe something does need to change. And here's the thing. As we've gone over the years, whenever those moments of frustration are, what the hell are we doing there? I think that needs to be addressed. I think it's time to move on from Torey Lavello, and it's definitely time to find a new pitching coach. Absolutely time for a new pitching coach.
Shouldn't have gotten rid of the old one.
Yeah, that's true.
That's proven to be a major flaw of the Diamondbacks right now. And that does go on Torey. And look, I've been a Torey defender for this process of
And
this
it's
whole
meant
show.
a lot to him.
Yeah, it has. I've actually met the guy. He spoke to my class. He was a super nice
And
guy.
I know he remembers you.
He might actually. I asked him a lot of questions about scouting, like a lot of questions. I was really
It's the
curious.
wrong guy to ask.
Yeah, he's a big analytics guy. Randy would not have liked that conversation, so it's good. At least that he's not.
We talked about this a lot on Saturday, and I think Phil said it best. And I don't totally agree with him, but I think he said it best. He said they're just not a good team. Period. He goes, look at the season and look at the series. I mean, what big series?
Yeah,
win did
I
they
don't
have
agree
this
with
year?
that.
I don't totally agree with it but what big series win have they had this year? And they really haven't had a huge series win. They've beaten a lot of bad teams.
They're a
They've
good
hung around.
team, badly managed
Well,
is what it looks like to me.
I think they're badly managed, but I also think they're badly managed at a GM level too, because I think they miss when it comes to bringing the right pieces in to make them better. They don't have the right pieces. And that bullpen's a disaster. It's the fifth worst in baseball. It's I think they've blown 11 saves, 19 leads. I mean, they're not a good. It's just not a good bullpen.
Yeah.
And if they don't make a change right now, I'm with you, Jeffrey. If they don't make a change like quick, I think you're gonna see these guys falling 15, 20 games out, and they're just gonna be an afterthought. And that's where they're headed.
I feel
right
like
now.
we're already there. I think we're already an afterthought.
You're close, but I think if you don't do something right now, you will become an afterthought in the next month.
I had hope for the Diamondbacks, and after what happened with Corbin Burns and that elbow tightness, it's darn near disintegrated. I have very little hope because I think
see what Fat did. Oh my gosh!
I think that
10 runs without getting an out, and that's just ridiculous. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, again, the pitching coach switch has proven to be bad.
How is he not also when things start to go bad, it gets out of control and everybody goes bad. I mean, that's
how do you not
I still
fire
believe there are some really good players on this
Oh, yeah.
team, and just a little bit of a shakeup, bring in a couple of new guys, but really just more importantly, a new manager, a new pitching coach, new manager, and maybe you're right, maybe a new general manager, Ralph. I don't know. I
don't like Hazen, but I think you're not going to get rid of him right now. But I think you make a statement, you fire the pitching coach, and you replace Torey Lovullo. You have to do that now. That's instant, and ownership should make that happen. Regardless of what
feel
the GM wants
bad
to do.
like calling for somebody else to get fired.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes in sports, you just have to he'll land somewhere else doing something else, so he'll be fine. But he's not the guy to run this team, and he's proven it.
Well, I hope he's got a net worth where he's saved up a bunch of money because God, I want him gone. I'm ready for this.
Them getting rid of Strom is major, and I think this Corbin Burns thing needs to be talked about more because him going out with elbow tightness, I think he's going to be out for a long while, like a very long while. Because the guy, one reason why I was skeptical of them putting a lot of money into Corbin Burns is because I have it right here. Last 4 years, he's pitched over 800 innings.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, that running back that got like 300 carries the year before, and he's supposed to go super high in fantasy football, and someone takes him and he always just gets kind of injured throughout the year. It's like that. He has so much wear and tear. Happened to Garrett Cole last year. So much wear and tear. People like, he's just an innings machine. He never gets injured. And then bam, all of a sudden the wear and tear comes onto you. He's human. And also the way he pitches too. I've noticed this. I've actually watched a video on it. When you pitch, a lot of times you need to keep your front elbow at a 90-degree angle. Pedro Martinez talked about this. And I talked about this on the last show too. And it's prevalent. With
I keep
Corbin
my
Burns.
testicles at a 45-degree angle. Is that the same thing?
The 45-degree angle is actually wild. Anyway,
Well, in
but
different directions, so it's okay.
yeah, different. Yeah, I'm not even gonna. So him pitching, there's not a lot of control, and so he pushes his elbow in a lot, and so there's a lot of room for injury with how much he pitches because that elbow is not controlled at all. So he's basically just using his elbow to punish the ball over and over, and I think the wear and tear is kind of added up there, and so. I was skeptical of it.
It's the way he's pronating. You're right. I agree with. Actually, that's a pretty intelligent analysis there.
Thank you, Ralph.
Harrison.
He'll need another 2 weeks of vacation to come up with another one.
That's pretty. I mean, I know a lot about pitching. You're pretty much right on.
Thank you, Ralph.
He definitely puts a lot of wear and tear on that elbow, and it's going to probably cost him a couple of months this season.
Yep,
I wouldn't doubt it.
I appreciate that, Ralph.
And the Diamondbacks, unfortunately, I think they start off with the Braves this week, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
tomorrow they got the Braves at 4:15, so we have to endure this suffering while on air.
Yeah, and they're going to be facing Strider and Sale. I mean, this is not going to be good. They're going to be, double digits out probably. By
And then
the
the
end of this week.
Mariners, and then the Padres.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's not good. It's not good.
This is wow. Am I reading this correctly? The Diamondbacks. Wait, is it? I'm confused by these odds. It shows the Braves as an 8.5 point favorite.
Are you looking at the Pacers Thunder spread?
No, wait, no, hold on. I'm confused. 1.5 points a favorite. Okay, so
They're
it's
minus
basically
1.5?
even. They're even. No, actually, Diamondbacks are plus 1.5.
Yeah, so they're underdogs, run and a half.
Right, plus 125 on the money line. Braves are minus 150. I don't know what this other number was. It was 8.5. I'm just going to
Probably
ignore
the
it.
run total.
Could be the over under. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to imagine.
So listen, I'm not a degen gambler like you guys. So
I'm not either. I just know that the Diamondbacks have given up the second most runs in the National League, only behind the Rockies.
I am not allowed to gamble on baseball.
That tells you everything you need to know.
So I cannot give any bets.
My eyes tell me everything I need to know, and this team is not good right now.
No,
Lost Toby says 20 blown leads.
20? Is that actually how high it is?
Blown leads.
Last time I looked, it was 19. Okay.
Well, we've lost 31 games, so either one, I wouldn't be surprised.
What happens to the Diamondbacks when I go on vacation, man? I left.
It's all about you, Harris. I
They
just
were
need
bad
you to
before you
understand
left.
that everything is about you.
They were at least okay when I left. I came back and it's like Torrey needs to be fired. Corbin Burns is out for a while. Losing record. They lost 8 out of the
It was
last
starting
10.
before you left.
Oh goodness.
Lost Toby says, you guys should be on farmersonly.com.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
If I wasn't taken. Maybe.
Quiet Cannon says, I've always hated the Dodgers, even when I lived in LA. How in the heck do they have 14 injured pitchers and are still dominating? Obviously, they're knocking the hell out of the ball in offense. That's how.
Well, and they have depth. I mean, they have a lot of young pitchers
Tons
that
of
are
depth.
good. I mean, a lot of their young guys that are in the minors that are coming up and pitching could be in the league in the majors with other teams on their rotation. That's how good their depth is. They do a great job building guys up. That's why.
Blah, 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 blah,
Well, I mean, it's true. I mean,
blah, 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 blah,
you have
Dodgers.
14 pitchers on the DL, and
You had
you're
2
still winning.
hours of blah, blah, blah Dodgers on Saturday. You don't need to
No,
keep
we
going
actually talked a
here.
lot about the Diamondbacks.
I know. You all over their heads. You just soft serve crapped on them,
Trying
didn't
to
you?
figure out what the heck's wrong with them, and it's just not hard to figure out.
We've already figured it out, like within 30 seconds here. I'm sorry it took you 2 hours, but we know here what it is: manager, pitching manager, and that's it.
I mean, we know
Some injuries, but
we know
not
what
enough
it's
to
like.
justify anything.
We know what it's like to get pooped on by the Dodgers. I mean, look what they did to our pool years
pooped
ago.
in the pool.
You know? Yeah.
Wilbur says, do any of you happen to know whether or not a team will buy insurance against a large contract like that in case a player gets hurt for a long period of time? And if so, how much is the team really on the hook for all of that? I don't know if anybody would carry that policy.
I've never heard of that kind of policy. The only policies I've ever heard of are players that carry policies on their arms or things like
legs and that kind of
that.
thing.
Yeah, I've never heard the other of them. No.
Chief Skull says, I think pitchers should pitch like girls fast pitch softball. Bunch of Nancy's. What?
Well, because he's talking about the stress level on their arms is not. It doesn't exist. You can be a softball pitcher and throw 300 pitches. It doesn't hurt your arm.
Yeah.
I don't
he's
care
right.
how the ball gets across the plate as long as it's good.
Here's the issue with baseball pitching these days is they're teaching velo and they're not teaching people how to pace themselves. So I know in high school, like these 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds that had Tommy John surgery. It's like, dude, my goodness.
You're right. I mean, they're teaching velo, but the wrong people are teaching it. There's a way to learn velo and do it without hurting yourself. There's a program out there that the pros even use called Driveline.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah,
that's my son's in Driveline. He's actually at the facility 5 days a week. But they teach you arm health, arm care, and how to ramp to throw hard versus the idiots that think they know what they're doing that just teach you to throw hard. And all these kids blow their ACLs out, UCLs out by the time they're 15, 16 years old. So
yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, Clayton Kershaw, Alex Wood, Kenley Jansen, all those guys use Driveline.
Yeah,
I've heard of that.
It saved Kershaw's career.
All right, listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, we can pick this right back up. But eventually, I want to talk about the Phoenix Suns coaching search. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Listen to our live stream on your phone at 1580thefanatic.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T.
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text ALL to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text ALL to 321-321. That's ALL to 321-321.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org, sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
We talk sports.
1580 The Fanatic.
The Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Pete Scholes watching us on the YouTube, and you can be too. I think that's one where you just search 1580 The Fanatic as well. He says Ralph's video lag makes it look like I'm watching a foreign movie when he talks.
Video lag?
Yeah, you do.
A little bit.
For some reason,
Really?
it's not even it's like beyond badly dubbed Japanese film. This is, yeah.
I don't understand.
Oh, so I don't know.
That's crazy. I don't know why I have that.
Yeah. I noticed it a little bit, sort of throwing me off, and then I picked up on it.
I mean, what are you looking lovingly at his mouth? I mean, what's just, I
Well,
don't
I mean,
even care
I can't
if
blame him.
if his words match up or not. Might be annoying for the people who are watching at home, but remember.
I could do this and you don't really know.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. You never see
This
the lag
entire setup was from COVID. This
sort of
is
what I
just so we could see each other
Yeah.
and our timing and our conversation. It was like not just disembodied, faces and voices and stuff. So after that, we realized people might want to see it, so we put it up, and everybody watches it like a damn TV show now. So, so yeah, me personally, it's a radio show first, so I don't care. I don't care if Ralph's hair is on fire as long as we're just doing what we're doing.
Well, I kind of would, but
it might occur to you.
I would too, Ralph.
So Fish Tank says the Braves and the Diamondbacks are the same team right now, severely underperforming. And of course, Fish Tank is a Braves fan. He says we're already calling getting calls to fire a Snitker over there. He says we start the series tomorrow. I say whoever loses the series should have to fire their coach.
yeah, but the
Just
Braves are
both.
coming off a
Why
lot
not
of
both?
Braves are coming off a lot of injuries. Come
Yeah.
on, you had Strider that was hurt. You had
The
Acuna.
Braves.
I mean, I don't think they're the same team at all. I think
Murphy
Yeah,
too.
you said Brewers. He said Braves.
I said Braves.
You said Brewers.
Okay, so I meant the Braves. I think the Braves upside is way bigger than the Diamondbacks.
For sure.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
the Braves will be fine, I think, in the second half.
Yeah, Atlanta's going to be that wild card team that you're not going to want to mess with. Arizona will probably not.
Moist One says biggest disappointment this year, the Orioles.
Yep. I mean, they fired their manager. It was a former manager of the year in Brandon Hyde. And look, their pitching has been down. I could see that coming. What I could not see coming was their hitting has been so down. They are like bottom, I think, last time I checked, 8 in the MLB in OPS as a team, which with guys like Gunnar Henderson and even Jackson Holiday, like, dude, it's just not expected with such a talented roster like that.
So Torey Lovello has always been frustrating, and then he all of a sudden, boom, here we are in a World Series. Like, oh, okay, what do we do with this? But Torey Lovello has always been frustrating. But let's take a step back, not thinking or speaking specifically about Torey Lovello. Let's just talk about managers in general.
Okay.
Managers don't pull muscles.
No.
They don't need Tommy John surgery. They don't go into batting slumps. They don't have the same ups and downs as players. Yet we end up wanting to fire them. How is it that a manager who manages a baseball team is like, hey, he's bell the ball, then all of a sudden he's the worst ever? I don't understand how the fortunes of a manager or the ability of that manager to lead the team changes dramatically enough that he should be fired. Because I feel like if I got a good manager and we're winning games and sometimes we're in the playoffs and sometimes we're not, then I kind of chalk that up to players, right? But it feels like managers are like super highs and super lows. It's not just the Diamondbacks, it's a lot of teams. What the hell changes with them? Do they get bored? Do they get tired? I don't understand how someone remember Joe Madden? I mean, Joe Madden, he was great and then he wasn't. Then he was great and then he wasn't. Why do these things happen? Is it a combination of things? Is it players? How does somebody who has it's all up here. It's all brain power and understanding the game and knowing, is it the game passes them by, or is there changes in the game that they don't adjust to? I'm struggling to understand how a manager that's good doesn't continue to be good.
You have to define good, though.
Yeah.
Well, I just did. I defined it as, hey, sometimes we're in the playoffs and sometimes maybe we're not, but we're a competitive team. The team is being run by somebody who knows what they are doing. And so people like you and me, our conversations are about, that player, not about, that manager.
Yeah, you have to, in my opinion, you have to look at a manager's body of work, right? And you have to say, what has he done over his period of time with X team? And if you look at Lovello, for instance, as a Diamondback manager, he's been managing since 2017, I believe he started managing Diamondback.
Yeah, 8 years.
Wow.
Right, so he's been there a while. He hasn't even he's below 500 as a manager, all right? Consistently. He's had one run, and I guess that was 2 years ago, where they went to the World Series in that period of time. And that's it.
Yeah.
That team just had a cohesiveness and got on a roll and went further than they should have. They outplayed what they were. The Diamondbacks weren't the best team in the National League that year. They got on a roll at the right time, right? So you have to, I'm going to take that and throw that away. I'm not even going to look at that. And
like I said, though, I wasn't just talking about Lovello.
But I mean, just looking
in
at
general
in general, he's done a very bad job.
No, stop talking about Lovello. I'm talking about the concept. There's other managers who are really good, and then they were really bad, and then they get fired, and then later up they show up someplace else, and look, they're really good again. I'm trying to understand, why do the fortunes of managers in general seem to change? Torey Lovello, like I said, we've been frustrated with him in chunks and pieces all along the way. But I'm just saying, in general, what is it about a manager that changes to where, hey, he was great, now he's not?
I think it's like, everything in sports, like basketball, football, in terms of how people coach. Like, you can give people pointers and help in players' development that other managers may not be able to see and critique. And I think I also think, even though the manager doesn't do this directly, he has a pretty big say in it. Who you hire outside of you, hiring a good staff is very important. So, for example, Torey firing Brent Strom, who was the guy when the Astros won the World Series, the pitching coach, and hiring a new guy. That hasn't worked out. That is mostly.
I really wonder about that. Why did that happen?
Mostly on the GM. Yeah, I've been very critical about that. Mostly on the GM, but it's also on the manager, because I'm sure he has a big say in that. So combining all of that, managers, it's just about, honestly, same thing in football or same thing in basketball. Like, are you able to motivate? Are you able to coach guys? Are you able to make guys see certain pitches of like, hey, on this pitch, like, be sure to adjust your swing here, adjust your swing like this. And so, it's just about coaching.
And can they change with the game, because the game changes constantly?
Decision making.
Every sport.
I wonder if that's really it. It's just the changes they get left behind.
I think some of them do. I mean, people were saying that about Pete Carroll, right? They said that the game got ahead of him. He just fell behind because he was set on his ways. That was the reason that he started losing. I don't think that's the reason he started losing. I think the reason was that he couldn't connect with the young guys coming up in the league. He had a hard time connecting with them the way that he was connecting with the other guys.
I thought it was his cocaine problem.
Did he truly start losing, Pete Carroll? Like, he started losing like a little bit more, but
You could look at Pete Carroll when he was at SC. He's an
Oh, yeah.
instant impact coach when he gets there. He makes so much culture change that he does amazing things for that organization the first 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
And then you'll notice as time goes by, he'll keep winning, but all of a sudden he starts to drop and he doesn't get the success that he had the first 3 years. That's
Yeah.
been his MO completely during his coaching.
Could be more
he loses touch
personnel.
with his players. He loses touch with what's going on. And I don't think he does a good job adjusting to how the game changes because the game does change. Baseball changes. It changes all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess that's it. You got to keep up or you get blown out. But yeah, here we are sitting with Torey Lovullo 8 years later. And like Ralph said, it's been a sub 500 record, one trip to the World Series, which might have just been the good fortune of good players.
I think so.
And a better pitching coach. I don't know, man. Quiet Cannon says it's not just management in any major league sport. Coaching is more related to the mechanics of the players and making sure those mechanics don't get out of sync. That's what good coaching does.
But that goes back to Harris's point. That's the staff you put together.
Right.
Right. So, yeah, I agree with that. And that also includes when you look at a team like the Diamondbacks, you have to look at their minor league system, too. What are they doing in that lower level to get these guys right? You have to look at that. It's all important.
Yeah.
Chief Skull says, I got a serious question. What will it take for the Rockies to have a good team? The
Blow it up.
humidor isn't helping in Colorado. They can't get a consistent team.
They just need to blow it up.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Yeah. You sometimes, Chief Skull, you just get to a point where everything must go. You shake the Etch-a-Sketch, you start over because you get into a habit of losing. You get in a habit of things not going well. Then your owner gets a little bit a little jaded and he's not willing to do the things that needs to be done. So all the way around, they got to cleanse. They got a big old giant bundle of sage burn in that place.
I think they really got to lean into, like, the Rockies need a whole new identity. Like, they could be recruiting hitters to come to Colorado like crazy, but they don't.
They need a culture change. They need someone to come in and just change the culture, bring up the young guys. Young guys are hungry. Bring those guys up, give them opportunities, and you'll see a change in culture.
They need to embrace Pride Month.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Jeez. Came out of nowhere.
You said culture change. I don't know.
I didn't.
Swave Dave says it's not that the Dodgers are that talented. It's just that they know a guy who knows some guys.
No, they're
that talented.
But here's a great example.
The cash register, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Dave Roberts, but you can't. That's just recently. Dave Roberts has been successful the whole time he's been there. They've won 11 or 12 pennants or titles. in the
Very
division.
sustainable success.
He knows what he's doing. I made the example last week. I don't think I did it on the blender, but you look at Tanner Scott, our reliever, who was struggling mightily. He brought him in to face one batter against the Yankees in a crucial situation. He got the out and then he pulled him. He didn't let him close the game because he wanted to build his confidence versus a guy like Lovullo who brings Ginkel in with his 12 ERA to get shelled every game and has no confidence left. It's those little things that are really important as a manager.
No, you're right.
To be fair, I don't know if the Diamondbacks have the personnel to do what Dave Roberts can do with his bullpen.
But you don't bring a guy in that's struggling and keep letting him get shelled. You
Dude,
take that guy and you put him down in the minors and you work on stuff. And they finally did send him down, but should have done it weeks ago.
Yeah.
This hurts my heart.
What, that I'm right?
No, I'm holding up our last 10 games and there's only 2 wins and all those losses, all those red L's. That hurts my heart. Do something, Diamondbacks. Do something.
It's time to make a change.
Cardinal Art says, how about Kroenke? If I spelled that right, what if he buys the Colorado Saris?
The Saris.
That'd be a good name for them.
Sorry. They're not Canadian. Listen, in the next hour, we're not going to be talking about this anymore because it makes me sad. And I didn't want to talk this much about it to begin with, to be honest. So we will talk about other things.
Yeah.
Don't ask me what they are.
Dodgers Yankees.
We're not going to talk about, is that still happening?
No, it's done.
I thought that was over with.
How about Tennessee beating
Did you
Wake
guys win
Forest
that?
right now?
Did you win that?
Dodgers won 2 out of 3.
Yeah, they did.
I hate the Yankees, so I can't get too mad about that. Yeah. All right, guys, 2 hours down and 1 to go. Come on back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-555-2085. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems. And if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-555-2085. That's 800-555-2085. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-555-2085.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
My name is Mary Grace. I lost my mom to Alzheimer's in 2017. 2 months after losing her, my dad was diagnosed. The earlier the diagnosis you have, the more time you have with your loved one. With my dad, now that I know what's coming, I'm able to create memories not only for him, but for myself. So when he can't remember, I'll remember for him.
For more information, contact us at alz.org or through the 24/7 helpline at 800-272-3900. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
Your best plan to retire might be right under your roof. This is Rob Canier, and for over 20 years, I've helped people discover how they can utilize a portion of their equity in their home as a coordinated strategy in retirement planning, thus creating additional monthly cash flow, paying less taxes, and making their retirement assets last longer. This is a safe and proven retirement strategy for qualified homeowners age 62 and older. All you have to do is reverse your thinking. Call me, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773.
Hey guys, Jason McCourty here. As a 13-year NFL veteran and Super Bowl champion, people always ask me, what's it like getting ready for the big game? Let me tell you, it's all about preparation, knowing what you're up against, especially when food allergy is part of the game plan. When you're on the field, you're playing for your fans. At home, you're playing for your family. My playbook, read labels, keep it allergy friendly, and have an epinephrine nasal spray as a backup plan. Visit foodallergy.org to learn more.
QFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Right, people settle down because it's time. Time for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and I'm your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. He should be back tomorrow, but we got Ralph from Harmon Solar with us. We got Harris back from vacation in the control room, and he doesn't look the least bit tan.
Actually, not true. I've gotten some different remarks.
Yeah, most of the remarks would be shave off that ridiculous mustache. You guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580 as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. My God, Cooper flag. Okay, Cooper flag. I saw this and I'm just stunned. Why? What? By the way, what was he in the college? Was he a sophomore? Was he a junior?
Freshman.
He let. What a mistake! Did you know he was clearing $28 million in NIL contracts?
$28
million.
Are
you sure?
That can't be
That
true.
would make him the highest NIL ever.
By far.
Guess what? It's true. He had $13 million deal with New Balance and a $15 million deal with Fanatics. And I'll tell you what, I don't see why that would discontinue going into the NBA. So maybe he's like, I'll get this and a fat contract when I get drafted. But
yeah,
damn,
that's like 3 to 4 times larger than anybody else. I think
was
the
there
highest
any
was like 9?
Was there any reason he should have just stayed there?
The
financially,
highest per athlete is 4. million.
Fun.
football.
Arch was
Answer my question. Was there any reason he should have just stayed there? If the money would be better just for him to have stayed put? I mean, I don't know if the NIL deal
No.
with New Balance or Fanatics changes when he goes.
I don't think so, because if he stays there and starts not playing at a certain level, maybe that starts hurting him. Better off getting to the NBA now, get that rookie contract going, and you're probably going to keep those sponsorships. I don't see those going away.
I think financially, yes, but I think outside of financials, I think there are reasons he could have stayed. I think to win a national championship would have been.
It was a free education, Ralph.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey,
He's at Duke. They don't learn anything there.
That's
right.
true.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Duke's
Carolina.
no, Duke's a hard school to get into.
Somebody's
it's
taking
not.
their
It
test.
is a hard. Duke's like near Ivy League. I'm telling you,
Ivy
that's a
League for
hard-
North Carolina.
near Ivy League.
So, like, if you could put two words together, like,
No, North Carolina is probably the smart state of the South. I'll
They
say
only
it.
need
I
3
admit it.
words, Ralph.
South
and it's,
Carolina
I
on
play
the other
sports.
end.
I play sports.
I play
No,
sports.
Duke
I
is
shoot basketball.
Duke's
Ball
a
hoop.
really smart
Ball
school.
hoop. So yeah, but I was amazed to see how much money he was making there. So
That's crazy.
does that follow him into the NBA?
Why even play in the NBA? Just forget it.
By the
That's what I'm
way,
saying.
Just retire.
Duke has a 6% acceptance rate. Ralph.
Well, that's because people from the South are applying. I mean, come on.
I don't know, man. I know people.
When your GPA is 1.3, that's not good. You shouldn't apply.
That was
to
like
Duke.
right near my mom's GPA.
Oh
by
my
the way.
God. What are you doing?
Moistlin says we didn't go to
I
play
love my
school.
mom. I love you, mom.
Baker's Cocky Hen says he ain't staying because the Mavericks got the #1 pick. Duke education is kind of like U of A, by the way.
Duke is
Oh,
way better education than
bad.
U of A.
It's that
No,
bad.
it's not that bad.
Must be horrible. just like U
No,
of A.
it's not that bad.
I don't know.
No.
Bunch of Blue Devils.
Man, my wife was down in Tucson the other day.
Oh,
She's like, you
poor
weren't
her.
kidding. It smells like urine everywhere.
The only person who likes
That's
Tucson is Wilbur, and that's because he's blind. He can't see it.
Well, I can smell it.
I don't think he lives there anymore.
Does he not?
Because of the smell.
Even he probably could. Yeah,
Baker's
smell.
Cocky Hen says it's not University of Tennessee bad, but it's bad.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'll give it to you. Tennessee used to be bad, and now all these people from up north want to come to an SEC school, and so the admission requirements are getting like harder and harder.
That's why they're called the Volunteers. They'd let anybody in.
The volunteer state.
Quiet Cannon says, speaking of nice paydays, did you guys notice that Scotty Scheffler
Oh, yeah.
knocked down another $4 million this weekend when he won the Memorial? Yeah, that's good. Good for him,
He
man.
is playing on another level.
He's been
Like,
killing
he's
it for
playing on a
years,
planet.
but this year, yeah.
Yeah, he when it's all said and done, man, I think it was you, Ralph, or whoever read this stat that there are only 3 guys who were able to win the Masters and the PGA before the age of 30. And I
Ralph
think
wasn't
it
even
was
on the show. That
Tiger.
was me, you knucklehead.
Was it you? I'm
I'm
sorry.
going to take
Jeffrey,
credit for it.
my
I think it was
mistake.
me.
Okay, it was Ralph. Whatever.
It was Tiger, Jack, and it was Scheffler. And
Just
so
say it wasn't me.
he's in good company right now. Yeah, I don't
I don't read golf stats, dude.
I read golf stats. I'm big into golf stats.
I like golf. I just don't read stats.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not for golf.
That's fair.
So Jonesy says, how about ASU baseball, huh? They are so back.
I don't know if they are.
Didn't they get
because
knocked
what-
out?
Yeah, they got knocked
They just
out
got
against.
knocked
I
out
think
in
he's
the first
being
round.
facetious
Got
because
knocked out
Nebraska.
against UC Irvine. Like they got crushed.
They're
So,
bad. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a good year though. Like based on what they've been these last like 5 years compared to what they were this year, some progress, but they're out. They're
Mhm.
eliminated.
Well, sort of the #1 seed got eliminated. Number 1 team in the
Vanderbilt-
country, Vanderbilt, gone.
To Wright State of
Yeah,
all,
That's
like
huge.
that's how unpredictable the college baseball NCAA tournament is. And even the 2 seed, Texas got eliminated by
eliminated too.
UTSA. So that
University of
tournament's
Texas,
nuts.
San Antonio.
Yep.
Moislin points
Yep.
out that Scotty Scheffler has the same amount of wins as the Colorado Rockies since May 4th. 3.
That's funny.
That is so funny.
Yeah. Jonesy's a
Moislin.
U Arizona knucklehead. So
Is he? Minus 5 points.
yeah, how about the 37 times I think it was that ASU beat you guys in a row? Is that how much it was? Yeah, okay. Shut up. If it wasn't baseball, it had to been something else because
I don't know what that was from. Yeah, I don't know
Hockey.
what sport that.
hockey. That's right. It was hockey.
Hockey.
Yeah.
Okay.
ASU's
That would
hockey
make
team is
sense.
pretty good.
ASU's hockey team is fun.
Speaking of hockey, so it's Panthers versus Oilers. This should be good, right? This is more evenly balanced, right? This
is a good series.
This isn't like the NBA stuff. This is like two good teams, and this is going to be Canada versus Florida.
A lot on the line here.
Weird, but okay.
You have, I was gonna say you had the finesse of Edmonton, who's a very finesse team, they're just pretty to watch, man. Just you watch Connor McDavid and the way those guys, Draisaitl, those guys work together. It's just fun to watch. Against the Panthers, who just like to throw you to the boards and knock you down. They lead the penalty minutes in the playoffs, I think, by 2-1 over anybody. So you're going to see the Panthers just try to knock them into oblivion in this game. It's going to be fun to watch and see if they can actually do it like they did last year.
You feel like the Oilers might have the slickness and the finesse, but then the Panthers got the better goalie.
Yeah.
Well, but Edmonton's goalie has been pretty decent. You're right. I mean, I think the Panthers do have the better goalie, and that's probably the most important piece in the NHL Finals.
Bobrovsky?
Something like that.
Close enough.
Bobrovsky.
I mean, Edmonton's got a chip on their shoulder. I mean, they went down in 7 games to these guys last year, and they definitely have been eyeing them all year. They wanted them. They wanted them in the finals, so they got them. Let's see if they can beat them this time.
I can't believe I got to root for a Florida team because America.
Yeah.
I'm kind of pulling for Edmonton.
I also.
Why would you pull for Canada?
Well, I'm not
they
pulling
booed
for
us.
Canada.
They booed our national anthem, Ralph.
I like Edmonton. I just like that team. I like Connor McDavid. I like Dreisaitl. I just like the way they're put together. To me, they should.
You like the cut of their jib, then?
Yeah,
huh?
They should have won the finals a couple of years ago. I mean, they're just a good team, and I think I don't know. I just kind of
like the way they wear their pants.
If you've ever been to Edmonton, there's just nothing else to do there. So I mean, those people
they
need
do
something.
their hair. I really like the way they wear their sweaters.
I like the cut of their jib.
Oh, I like the cut of that jib.
And I'm not a big Panther fan. Panthers are one of those teams that, you don't hear much about them during the season. The playoffs start, and all of a sudden they just go on a tear.
If they had not booed our national anthem, I might be going for the Oilers just for the fact that I just can't stand Florida.
That's just a few morons that I mean, what are you going to do?
It'd be cool to see McDavid hoist a cup. I think that'd be great for hockey.
Best player in hockey.
Just best player in hockey by far.
If you get a chance, Jeffrey, watch part of a game and watch where McDavid gets the puck and just how fast and finesse this guy moves. It's unbelievable. It reminds me a lot of Wayne Gretzky, except he's faster than Wayne Gretzky ever was.
No, I hear you, man, and I am sure it's just going to be. I'm going to have to try to just put it out of my head.
Ralph knows. Yeah,
I got to put it out of my head that these guys are from Florida and these guys are from the people who booed us.
Yeah, Ralph knows a lot more about hockey than I do. Just going to be transparent, and so I will defer to him on some.
Well,
of
we
these
were all
things.
fooled, Harris, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Well,
it's important that you note that.
I think if I see someone knows something more than I do, like there's a kind of a humble deference. But I will say, Edmonton's been playing really good hockey lately. Very good hockey lately.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the only reason they lost to one game to Vegas was because of an own goal. And they look very good against Dallas too. So I like Edmonton in this series. So
yeah, if I'm betting, man, that's what I'm betting.
Fish Tank says, I want McDavid to get his ring, and if Canada has to win, it may as well be against the Panthers that no one really cares about. I think the crowd just wasn't interested in being the 51st state when they were booing the last time.
Well, I mean, they're one of the world tournaments is going on right now too, and Canada they got knocked out by the U.S. So the U.S. is moving there. That's more important when it comes to the whole country thing, I think.
Yeah, true. But I mean, I like the run that we've had since 1990, whatever. That
93,
America has had the Stanley Cup. So in your face, Canada.
Yep.
Yeah, for a country that's your sport and you haven't won it in 28 years. I mean, sit in the corner.
Yep.
But
That's
you're right. I mean, the really important thing is going to come when it's Team USA and not just Panthers. Oh, God, it's Panthers. By the way, who thought Florida should have a hockey team? I mean, probably same people say that, who thought Arizona should have a hockey team?
Yeah, that's true.
It has worked out, though. It could have been an Atlanta Thrashers situation or the Houston. Didn't they have a hockey team at one point?
Houston?
I
don't remember Houston having one.
Okay, I don't know if they did. Atlanta did, and it could be that or the Coyotes situation.
Well, and Florida's a big hockey state. You got the Tampa Bay Lightning and you got the Florida Panthers, and both of them have had a lot of success in the Stanley Cup.
Yeah,
which is surprising, but they have.
Hockey, it's odd what's going on. Some of the Sun Belt teams, in terms of fandom and success, have made such a rise these last 10 years. Oh well, suck it, Canada.
So does Arizona end up with an expansion team or somebody else's rotten refuse?
Expansion.
Yeah, I think it'll be expansion.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Wait. The Coyotes were from someplace else, right?
Weren't they from Winnipeg or?
They were the Jets. The Winnipeg.
Yeah, they were from Winnipeg.
Were they actually?
Yeah,
something like that.
Know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
and then the Jets just their own expansion to get them back going. Yeah. So I think the Coyotes will be They'll be an expansion organization. I hope they don't name them the Coyotes.
Well,
yeah, you need
you have
do
to,
something.
though.
But
no,
you don't.
I don't think.
I don't think that there's no names left. What name would you call it here?
There's a lot you can look. You don't want that history. I mean, the Coyotes they don't have a great.
You don't want the history of the owner. I don't think people minded the history of the Kachina sweaters and the and the mascot and the logo. I don't think that was ever the problem or an issue for the people here in Arizona. It was just the people pulling the strings and pulling them badly.
What about the Sandstorm? That's pretty Arizona related.
The Haboobs?
No, the Roadrunners. I like the Roadrunners.
Well, yeah, I love that idea. If you're going to do
It's a
anything
cool
other
idea.
than Coyotes, Roadrunners works for me.
You get the jersey right behind you.
I know, but
go
this
back-
is from
go
the
back
minor
to-
league team. You know?
Yeah, but I love that name for this area. I think it's a great name.
Yeah.
That I could
is-
support. No, I just don't see any other reason to be anything but the Coyotes. Arizona Ice Snakes. There's no such thing, Baker's Cocky Hens.
The Javelinas.
I'm not mad at you, Baker's Cocky Hens, because I like the way it sounds, but there's no such thing as an ice snake.
There is if you throw it on the ice.
That's true. Then the snake dies.
Well, he's an ice snake.
Unless you strap him to like several skates. It just feels like we're animal abuse here. That's just, I don't know. Baker's Cocky Hen says, when you have a hat trick, people throw snakes on the ice.
Live ones. Yeah.
I hate that idea. Why did it have to be snakes? The Jet says, damn, remember all those days that Ralph wasn't on the show? I miss those days. Fish Tank says, Florida has two, to be clear.
Two what? Stanley Cups?
No, they have more than that.
They have, yeah, because the Lightning went back to back, and the Panthers got one last year.
Yeah, so there'll be at least three.
Three.
Wait,
yeah.
and Florida has two hockey teams?
Yeah, they do. Tampa Bay and Florida.
Yep. Near
Lightning
each
and
other
the-
too. South Florida.
Yeah.
So.
And Arizona can't even just figure one out. It's
Yeah,
just crazy.
yeah. It is.
Everyone on those teams is Canadian, aren't they?
No.
For the most part. There's no
No.
Floridians
A lot
on
of,
these
lot of
teams.
European players in hockey, so see a
Hmm.
lot of guys from,
Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky's
Russian,
Russian.
Czechoslovakia.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all sorts of.
Yeah.
Bobrovsky? No. That he's Native American.
Don't think you see a lot of those.
No.
The Jet says there's no such thing as a Dodger or a Laker, so we could be the Ice Snakes. There's not even a damn Seahawk. They're right. The Seahawk is not a real
It's from a
thing.
totem pole. That's true.
Laker, well, yeah, guys that go on the lake in Minnesota.
Yeah,
that was where it came
Minneapolis
from.
Lakers. Yeah.
Yeah, Minneapolis
Dodger.
Lakers.
Everyone on the team is a draft dodger. That's a rule. So a lot of communist hippie they're draft dodgers.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Moist one says lots of Russians in these teams too.
Yeah.
A lot of good Russian players in hockey.
Yep.
Das Vidanya. Okay. No.
Good pull, Moist one.
Whatever works. 888-368-1580. So, all right, who's winning this thing? Because this thing is close. Let me give you the betting odds on this. Spreads of 1.5, at least on the first game. Harris, you'll have to look up the big numbers on the entire thing. But
Yeah, I got it right in
1.5
front of
points is the spread, and looks like Edmonton is favored in this one. Florida on the money line plus 110.
Yeah.
Edmonton minus 130.
On the entire series, Edmonton is, according to DraftKings, minus 120 to win the series. Panthers plus 100. So they think it's going to be really close to 50-50.
What do you think, Ralph? Panthers or Oilers?
For the series?
No, I mean, for a fashion show. I mean,
Fashion
who do you
show?
think
So
is going
if we're
to have
talking
the best
fashion,
fit?
if we're talking fashion show, I do like the Panther sweaters.
Mhm.
So I would give the sweater
I
a little
forget.
edge.
As a
Jersey.
Colts fan, the Oilers
sweater
sweater,
in
does it for me.
Well, they're called sweaters, not jerseys.
Yeah, I forget people in hockey say sweaters,
Yeah,
not
they're sweaters.
jerseys.
So
Right.
I think
Even I had that right.
Yeah.
Edmonton will win. I think this goes 7. I really do. I think this is a 7-game
awesome.
finals. I think it's gonna be that great. It could even be in overtime. But I'm going to give Edmonton the edge only because I'm Connor McDavid. I think you have to give him the edge.
Yeah.
What do you say, Harris? You
I'm
want to
with
go a little South biased, Mr. Southern gentleman?
No, I'm with him, and we don't consider Miami or Tampa the South, by the way.
What are they?
They're its own
North
thing.
Cuba.
It's own
North Cuba. Feels like it when you're there. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's its own thing. And
I,
so
I mentioned this on the air. I don't know if you were here, Ralph, but when you're in Miami, Cuban people just walk right out into the road. They'll just walk right out in front of you. and you're like, you have to slam on the brakes. It's like,
yeah.
They're like, the way I got here, you'll break.
I mean, when
I'm
you, when
not
you go,
afraid of you.
I've been to Miami a few times, and you feel like you're in a different country.
You really do.
You really don't feel like you're in the U.S. anymore. I understand why it's a peninsula.
The
A nice country. I liked it.
Yeah, I'm not
Miami's
saying it's bad. It
cool,
just doesn't feel
but
like the
it
US.
does feel different. And also, man, I prefer the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, yeah.
I
You
do
walk
not.
out to that dirty, hot bath water they call the ocean. I'm like, what?
I think the
hell
Atlantic is
this?
better.
Nasty.
You think what?
The Atlantic is better because
No,
the
it's not.
water is way easier to get into. Pacific is too cold, man.
Well, don't be a
Way
baby.
too cold.
Enjoy your sharks.
Well, we get it. Someone's worried about shrinkage. I'm just there to have fun. I don't care if it's a grower or shower situation, but I get you, man.
Jeffrey,
I
I
get you. We
didn't-
all saw
Jeffrey,
Seinfeld.
I
We know what
didn't-
you're going. We know what you're saying.
I didn't want you to expose me like that.
We're not going to talk anymore about that. Baker's Cocky Hen says Dante Stallworth understands that people jumping out in front of you while driving thing.
Dante Stallworth did go to Tennessee, by the way.
Great.
had to
Absolutely
throw
not
that in there.
connected to what Baker's Cocky Hens was trying to say.
But
Thunder
yeah,
San
I see what you're
Barbarian says, Ralph, did the numbers 18 and 2 have some particular significance in relation to last Saturday?
Yes, they do, actually. The Dodgers beat the Yankees 18-2.
Oh,
And I told Fifth Leather in that game to take the over 9.5 because I felt it would be a high scoring game. So, yes, that's very significant. 18
There you
runs
go,
against
Ralph.
the Yankees.
There you
Loved
go.
it. You would have been
I-
proud,
I-
Jeffrey.
I love that too.
You
I
would have
just-
liked it.
I don't care that it's the Dodgers. I love that they were humiliated.
You would have loved watching the Yankees give up 18 runs.
I just I just don't like the Dodgers. I hate the Yankees.
Right. So you would have enjoyed it.
The Jet wonders if Harris's mustache could shrink any more than it already has.
Wow. You're
That's
saying
what they
you got
call
shrinkage.
pencil thin mustache.
That's what razors are for. But unfortunately, I'm not going to do it. I'm
So
not
do you
going
trim
to.
it? Do you trim it that way?
I'm not going to conform. No.
Let me
That's a
you know
natural
what?
look.
I can break this down, Ralph.
yeah.
I can break this
Natural
down.
look.
Are you ready? Watch
Right.
this. Okay, Harris, your girlfriend loves the mustache, right?
Right, Jeffrey.
She told you, I want you to have that mustache. Keep
Yes.
that mustache on.
Yes.
She is just trying to keep you from getting laid by anyone else. That is her way of releasing you out into the wild where no other woman would ever touch
Wow.
you.
I can't say you're wrong.
That is like I should be a detective. I just broke that down.
That's pretty good.
I think you're actually wrong.
I don't know.
When
Of
I
course you do,
was-
Harris. Of course you
When
do.
I was
The voice of experience over here knows a few things.
when I was at Tennessee dancing, I actually had a girl go up and ask if she could marry me.
Did you tell your girlfriend this?
I had the mustache. I actually did tell her.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of happy. It was a confidence booster.
She walked up to you and said, "Will you marry me?"
She said, "I want to marry you, but I heard you have a girlfriend."
How many months pregnant was she?
9.
What country was she from that she wanted to she's looking for
Russia.
for an anchor Harris. Hey, listen, man, you got a girlfriend, but my advice to you, if you find yourself single, get rid of that ridiculous thing. Trust me.
I'm trying to grow it so where I can get handlebars, like
Oh,
French
no.
mustache style. Oh yeah.
It's pointed the wrong direction right now.
Yes.
You got to get rid of that the down part
You
before
think?
you can have.
I
the up
actually
part.
was thinking about that. I was, but I could
Think
get
harder.
some gel on it, people do.
But you got to get rid of that part before you do the gel thing.
I just
Or
want
I
to
could
grab
use
you in a
this part to
headlock
just,
and just wipe that silly fake mustache off.
Does her mom pull on it?
No, she hasn't. She's
She
come to
should.
like it.
She should just grab you and go.
I think I'm going to go to break right now
Yeah.
before the jokes come because
Oh, that
Yes.
wasn't meant to be that. So
She's thought about it though.
all right, listen, we got some manly sports type things to talk about. Plus, we got some NFL football. It's Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
The Daily Blender is streamed live on YouTube. Search 1580 The Fanatic to watch.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations, covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
My pain is considerable, but that prescription is dangerous.
The side effects of my medicine are worse than my condition.
I'm in recovery. I can't take those pills.
When faced with a health crisis, you shouldn't have to choose between risks. Choose natural healing.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our naturopathic doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves immediate physical symptoms without having you take a bunch of pills. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
We know how you feel. There's nothing better than a fall afternoon, an order of wings and a nice cold brew, and football. This fall, the Fanatic is your source for high school, college, and NFL football action. The high school game of the week on Friday nights, top line NCAA action on Saturdays, and the NFL primetime games. When it comes to football, we have you covered. We're 1580 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Skibbity wop pop pop, skibbity wop pop 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 pop, skibbity wop pop 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 pop, skibbity pop pop, skibbity boom boom, skibbity boom 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 boom, skibbity boom boom.
The Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
What the heck is that?
What is this song? You never heard that before?
No.
Oh my God! You go look up Skibbity. Not toilet, but Skibbity.
I was going to say Skibbity toilet, Jeffrey.
Put up Skibbity song, and the video is amazing. It's a Russian group, and it's one of the best things you'll ever watch. Trust me.
Oh, I love Russian EDM.
Very, very. It's a very good song, actually. I mean, seriously, it's a good song. By the way, so here's the thing. I don't know. I don't know if you guys think this is possible. I am not sure if this actually is what happened or if this lady really needs to forget about her ex and move on. There's this woman named Christine Connell. She's trending on the internet after she claimed her ex-boyfriend's nasty fart gave her a sinus infection that lasted 7 years. Hear me out.
What's he eating?
Dang, she had just had surgery on her ankle, right? So she's staying in a hotel with her boyfriend. She's in bed. And he was getting into bed, and he was naked, and he ripped one so rank. She's like, I'd never smelled anything like it. And she didn't say how long ago they broke up, but shortly after the fart incident, she developed a sinus infection that has stuck with her ever since. Doctors couldn't figure out what it was. She recently had a culture done, and they found E. coli in her sinuses.
Come on.
Which comes from the poo-poo, which, not washing your hands, she thinks the bacteria from that fart has been in her nose, living there ever since, after exiting her boyfriend's colon, I guess. So here's the question. Is this possible? And doctors are saying, maybe. We haven't seen an actual expert on this, but sounds like it could happen if the conditions are just right.
I didn't know Randy's story was this public like
Whoa.
this.
The fact, I'm just going to ignore you when you say dumb stuff like that.
So the fact that he was naked is the only reason doctors think it's possible, because if this dude had put pants on, it would have been kind of a filter and prevented the E. coli at least from coming out. But she said that the antibiotics haven't kicked out this thing yet. She might need to have surgery so they can go and completely remove the bacteria. So
if I had to bet, her nose has been in some places it shouldn't be. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
If I'm going to bet, that's probably it.
Probably more likely, but
one fart.
Yeah,
that's
that's almost man card accreditation. If it was
he'd be a god.
fart.
He'd be a god.
Yeah.
I mean, that's admission to anywhere.
That is nasty. I try not to ever do that in front of the girl you love if you can help it.
I wish I could do that, honestly.
But you wish you could give somebody E. coli with a fart.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, that's the ultimate. Like, it's like, hey, let me see your man card, and then you say that, and it's like, oh my gosh, this guy gets it.
That would be a horrible thing to do to another human being, unless it was an ex. This is also horrible. Dr. Squatch is ready. They're doing something. I think you guys have already heard about this. This is wrong. But somebody like Moist One's fantasy is about to come true.
Oh, yes.
Limited edition soap that is infused with Sydney Sweeney's bathwater.
Oh my, that's foul.
Phil is a huge supporter of this.
Of course, he's a huge supporter of this.
I feel like that's pretty damn gross. I feel like this shouldn't even be legal.
Let's think about this. I guarantee you that water is going to have to be filtered of some. They're going to have to.
Then what's the point?
Exactly. It's just it's a gimmick. But there's no way that they're going to take the bathwater of somebody and infuse it into as a bar of soap for you to have.
Phil, you said Phil's a huge supporter.
Of course, Phil's a huge supporter.
This is the one. I found it. This is what me and Phil disagree with.
So, well, Harris, we're not talking about unmanly people right now. So you guys just take a moment. I want to talk. I'm just trying to get a little man talk here. Clint Eastwood. Can you think of a more manly man than Clint Eastwood? Now he's 95, but he's still right. Clint Eastwood just turned 95 on Saturday, and he's still working. He's still trying to produce stuff. He's in pre-production for a new movie. And whether he directs it, whether he does anything with it, it's amazing at 95. But he says his philosophy as a filmmaker: do something new or stay home. He says he's tired of all the retreads, all the remakes, everything I have already said. He says he's like, I long for the good old days when screenwriters actually wrote movies like Casablanca and these little bungalows on the studio lot. Everyone had a new idea. We now live in the era of remakes and franchises. He says, I've shot sequels 3 times, but I haven't been interested in that sort of thing in a long while. At least a sequel can be a new idea connected to the other idea. But as far as we're remaking everything, we're rebooting everything. We're doing it. Just, I don't know why, but he says, listen, there's also no reason a man can't get better with age. He says, I have much more experience today. Sure, there's directors who lose their touch at a certain age, but I'm not one of them. I'll work as long as I can still learn something or until I am truly senile. Doesn't sound like he's senile because he's saying everything right.
I mean, he's right. If you think about the later movies that he made, think about Gran Torino, think about Mule, think about, Trouble with the Curve. That's a great movie too. He did a great job in those movies as an older gentleman. I thought he was phenomenal. I love the guy. There's nobody more manly than Clint Eastwood.
Not just acting, it's also the directing and producing aspect in the business that can confound way younger men. So, I hope he makes it to 100. I'm pulling for him.
I think he will.
So, here's another man card accreditation. I guess, I don't know. I saw this thing where this Daredevil, he broke the Guinness Book of World Records for backflips on fire. Of course, he was wearing that protective gear like a stunt man, but they set him on fire, and he just starts. He says, I was freezing. I'm wearing a couple of layers underneath that are soaked in a gel and put in a fridge for 24 hours to help protect me from the fire. So actually, it was extremely cold. Well, that's less impressive when you know that he's just doing this in protective suits and stuff.
It is scary though. Still, nonetheless, it is still scary, but it is less impressive.
But yeah, still, he broke the Guinness World Record for 7 backflips in 30 seconds on fire. It's got to count for something, right?
Right.
Stupidity, yeah.
Well, there's that. Yeah, I would never do it. Then here's a guy from Australia who has decided, and I don't know if this is just, he's like, he's got 560,000 Instagram followers, and he says he'll fight any one of them until he gets knocked out. And so far, he has not gotten knocked out. And he says no headgear, no mouthpiece, no referee, just me, the cameraman, and one of my followers just trying to knock me out.
Is he a fighter?
And well, you know, enough of a fighter that he didn't get knocked out yet. But
You know if he was professional.
I don't know how many of these fights that he has had so far, but he's like, yeah, just a series of fighting random followers. And so I don't know how I feel about this.
I mean, he's probably making good money doing it. 560,000 followers. He's getting a lot of views and making cash. So,
I mean,
whatever.
The thing I don't know is he allowed to hit them back? Or is he just trying to not get knocked out?
Probably got to sign a waiver or something.
Well, okay. I mean, that's kind of manly.
How many of them are female?
It's pretty manly.
How many of them are female?
Oh, then that's not.
I think it's all. I think it's all males. I think it's all males. But that's the thing I don't know. Is he allowed to punch the other guy? I guess he fought this one dude, and at the end of the fight, he was still standing there, and the guy that was there landed a couple of decent punches, but couldn't knock him out. So,
Gotta go check him out.
Yeah, just look up Australian guy fighting Instagram followers, I guess. So, anyway, Fish Tank says, so the fart lady, is that a all-time case of brown nosing, or has she been working at the Olive Garden tossing salad?
Wow.
I don't know. I don't mind the tossed salad at the Olive Garden. I just don't think I like I can put my own pepper on. Why do they always want to come around and put pepper on things for you?
Yeah, it's a really good point.
I've never been to Olive Garden. Not one time.
What?
Not one time.
You're better off going to a real Italian place.
Like what?
A real Italian place. Look it up, man. Just go Italian food near me. You know, go to a real Italian restaurant.
I was looking for suggestions to get Donnie to a place he should buy me pizza. Still has been
I thought
quiet.
we already decided that.
Well,
you just
Illuminati's. That's right.
Illuminati's.
That's right. Yep.
All right, let's talk some football.
Let's do it.
We can talk quarterbacks. We'll do that here in a moment. But so congratulations to Saquon Barkley. He's now the cover of Madden 26, and they put the little dots and stuff on him. And he actually did that football move. I saw a video of them like filming it, where he hurdled a guy backwards.
Oh,
And
that was so cool.
they're like, okay, do the hurdle move. He's like, okay. He just went up there and did it again perfectly, like he was levitating in the air. And it was not a special effect. He did it for real. So you will see that as a move that you can do in Madden 26. Yeah, I mean, it was just a Jaguars defender. So, you know, it's not that impressive.
Yeah, not really that.
I feel like any of us could have done that to a Jaguars defender.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, that's cool for Saquon
So
Barkley.
he's going to be on the cover of Madden.
Yeah, and there's no Madden curse anymore. Is
that done now?
That's done. That's been debunked. There's been some stars on there, you know, who did just fine, and then others that got injured. It's not a universal thing. There was a little stretch of time where you were like, oof.
Oh
you
my
know,
goodness.
Maybe.
I think from like Madden 08, when it was Vince Young who eventually like lost his job a year later, to Antonio Brown when he got released at one point. There was a legit case there. Peyton Hillis, remember Peyton Hillis?
Oh yeah.
Browns running back. And he, I think, lost the starting job year after. Like there's been some interesting ones. It was legit for a long time.
No, but I feel like that's been overcome. So Saquon Barkley will be fine. Yeah. I'm gonna
Because
feel
you know,
bad.
he's that guy that has injuries all the time. He had a good year last year, clean year, but
But
he's
his
a very
are not
injury-prone guy.
Yeah.
He's not really doing season endings. He does little dings and stuff, but that
He's missed a lot of time
leads
this
to.
He has missed. He's had some hamstring problems throughout his career, and he had a lot of carries last year. So
Last year was his first clean year.
that usually in a while, like since his rookie year. So that usually doesn't. That recipe doesn't necessarily
not a
add
guy
up to
would put on
good
that.
things in a vacuum, but who knows?
The Jet says Campbell Soup has the big one. Their players get hurt and have career-ending injuries. Yeah, but Dak Prescott, well, he did get hurt, didn't he?
He did get hurt.
So did Richard Sherman.
I think Brett Favre was in the commercial for a while, right? And then his career, yeah.
We shouldn't talk about Campbell Soup anymore. Did you see what the Falcons did? They had to delete a post on social media. I'm just going to show you the post. They're like, hey, look, there's a couple players out there. And it's like, hey, we're out here at OTAs. And here's the 2 players standing there. Why do you think they deleted that immediately when they realized it?
Who are those players?
Number 3 standing next to number 28. Does that remind you of anything? Perhaps. 28-3.
Oh no!
When they were in the Super Bowl and they were up 28-3 over the Patriots, and then after halftime, Tom Brady came back and beat them for the Super Bowl. Yeah, they deleted that once somebody realized it was totally an accident. Just an innocent thing. And can I tell you, they should have just left it up.
You know what the odds are?
Should have left it. It
Embrace
looks
your
worse
history.
that you deleted it. You
Yeah.
should have left it up and gone. And then you should have posted, "Oh my God, I can't believe that." That was purely coincidence. Now they just look
coincidence.
They look soft. It is awkward though, because now you're taunting your own fans. So funny.
That is hilarious. And the odds that it would actually happen to them.
Just by complete coincidence.
Oh gosh. You should have left it up, honestly.
Mike Ford Jr. and I don't know who the other guy is. The Jet said, thank you for that. Moist One says, wait, though, there might still be a curse. Peyton Hill's almost drowned, too.
Yeah. Yeah, he did almost drown. I remember that.
Fish Tank says, I worked at Olive Garden for 4 years and never grinded more cheese or pepper since. Why do they harass you for that? Like, just give me the pepper shaker. I'll do it myself. I don't need that.
And they don't want. They'd get mad if you ask for it.
They get mad if you ask?
Oh yeah, like we can't do that. I'm like,
Do they
why?
really?
Is the problem?
I have to go to Olive Garden. I have to do that.
It's not really
It's not
real
it's not
Italian food.
It's American. It's like Taco Bell saying it's Mexican.
Yeah.
I had a listener lose a bet, and he had to take me to Olive Garden. And he was a full-blooded Italian.
Oh, that pissed me off.
And he was just in agony the entire time. He's like, my mom finds out, she's going to disown me. And so we made sure we posted that everywhere. I was almost going to buy a billboard in town.
Just with you and him.
But she found out. So I didn't have to.
Yeah, mission accomplished.
That's how it is good.
Thundar Santa Bavarian says, hey, nice try, Jeffrey. I drafted Saquon Barkley my first year in the Blender League, and he got hurt the second game out for the season. I got like 12 points for the season for my number 1 pick. Nice try luring me into drafting him again. It's not going to happen. You totally should draft Saquon Barkley.
I had him last year.
I absolutely would not even hesitate, because even if he does get hurt, then Harris is a little, scheme. He'll be back for the playoffs.
Did you hear that, Ralph? I was talking about my fantasy football strategies, and
Yeah,
what
listen to this.
What I said, because I'm, I don't know if you've heard me talk about this, but I'm a 5-time champion of my league at home, and
At
what
home,
I
with his
basically did
parents.
with my parents are not in the league, Jeffrey. It is a known commodity among Sleeper Sport Tennessee.
Oh, just get on with it.
Okay, I'll get on with it. So people basically, or what I do is I draft injured players. I'll go like 6 and 7 or 7 and 6.
How many injured players?
Usually like 4 a year, 3 a year. Like those guys end up being the guys who I'll plug in my lineup week 16, 17, and they end up winning the whole thing.
I mean, I understand the strategy. I've done it, but not with 4 players. I'll grab a guy maybe that I know that could come. But
And rookies too, because rookies get better throughout the year.
I will put 1 project up on my bench. I'll put a project. I'll never do 4.
I'll grab a rookie that I think could have a great year, and I'll grab a person that's injured that I think will come back at some point.
Yeah. He claims that it works, and he's won championships doing this.
Won 5, actually.
Yeah, well, we'll see how you do this year. After I am the defending champion, so
I was going to ask if you're in the Premier League. You're the defending champion.
I am. So
This is for all the jokes and stuff. This is not an easy league.
It's not. It's very hard.
I love it.
That's why it's called Premier. All right, and we got to take a break. When we come back, we got on this date in Big George's sports history and other things. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Get our free app and listen to the Daily Blender everywhere you go. Get it today, wherever you get your favorite apps.
For many, a warm bed or meal is just the beginning. The Salvation Army provides people facing hardship with a hand up, not a handout. Food, shelter, clothing, rent and utilities assistance, and community resources are just some of the ways we help people get back on their feet. Learn how you can give hope to your neighbors in need. Visit salvationarmysouthwest.org. Above all, love. Sponsored by the Salvation Army Southwest Division.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast, too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
The most important event in sports could happen at any time.
Like right now.
Or right now. Or even
now.
Don't miss history. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and boy, Stephon Diggs might end up cut as the word on the street. Can you believe that?
Stephon Diggs?
Yep.
I was
Because
saying that this weekend.
there was a video where he was on a boat with some gals, not his girlfriend, who happens to be Cardi B, and she's mad. She was on the same boat at some point, but later he's on the boat, and these gals are hanging around him, calling him daddy. And he hands them a little bag of pink substance and says, "Don't use all of it." And they're like, "Thank you, daddy." And probably can speculate that that's that pink cocaine that's been going around that's infused with fentanyl and God knows what, and has ended up killing some celebrities as of late. But, you know, I can't say for sure what's in that. Could have been Pop Rocks for all I know. But I don't think anybody's ever called anybody daddy for a little baggie of Pop Rocks. But what do I know?
I don't know. I was in the
Could have
fourth
been
grade.
like Skittles.
They are good.
I remember when I was pushing Pop Rocks in the fourth grade. You know, I had a couple comments like that.
I don't even know what Pop Rocks are, to be honest with you. Never heard of them.
Really?
Never heard of them.
Wow.
I guess he doesn't know what they're really good for.
I have no idea.
Anyway, so Stephon Diggs, he has a $16.6 million contract, but the contract has some broad language about his knee injury, and it has some other clauses and stuff. So there might be a chance that they just cut him out just straight up.
That'd be. I mean, think he's got a 3-year contract with them, right? I mean, they're looking to him to be the number one.
I don't think that's going to happen.
You don't think they'll cut him?
No.
That would be a tough move for them.
They won't cut him.
So the play-by-play guy for the Patriots, he went on air and he says, "I came to this show yesterday with the opinion, not opinion, but knowledge that it is on the table that they cut him. It is being thought of by the team to cut him, considering what is going on here. And also, just by the way, he's been communicating, I guess.
I mean,
It's a bad look.
I don't think the league's going to suspend him for that.
Yeah, it's,
Someone else will pick him up.
Josh McDaniels had a quote, and he said, he was talking about it. He said, it's a voluntary part of the year. We know that.
He's
I don't
the
know.
offensive coordinator, so why
Oh,
would
yeah.
he say anything other than this?
Offensive coordinator. Let me say, I don't know if we've ever had a perfect attendance at these things in general. As a coach, selfishly, you love it when they're all here because you feel like you have them in the classroom, et cetera. I know he's staying up on the information and material. There's so many opportunities for us to teach guys going forward. I'm not concerned about Steph in that regard. I don't think he's getting cut.
But Josh McDaniels doesn't matter.
Well,
he doesn't really matter. He's the offensive coordinator. He calls plays. The people that really matter is the owner, the GM, and the coach.
Right. But when the OC is saying that he's not concerned, there's obviously been some meetings.
They say
in
so
that
much
regard.
crap that is directed at, cushioning stuff for the players or whatnot. That does not mean that is reality. And you don't have any idea of the conversations that might be going on between the people who do matter and say Stephon Diggs's agent. And if your play-by-play guy says, no, this is knowledge, they are thinking of cutting him. And the fact he says it out loud means that is directed at a person who's not communicating in a good or healthy way.
Yeah.
And that is the Patriots letting him know, hey, we're about to do some serious stuff here.
Could they get out of that contract legally, though?
Yes, because the broad language about the knee injury right there. He suffered a torn ACL in the 2024 season. So I think they got some legal wiggle room there, if not to get out of it because of the pink powder. They can probably just weasel their way out in another way. So,
because I think it was a bad signing anyway. I mean, coming off an ACL, 3 year, $64 million guy's 31 years old. That's not a great signing.
Yeah. I think it'll be good for Drake May's development, but that's a lot of money.
Moist one's right. Josh McDaniels is a big fat liar. He also said he'd be the Colts head coach at one point too, didn't he?
He also has cheated a lot.
Yes.
I just think he would use different language if he would cut him. That's all. Like,
It's
I
not
think it
even
would be
up to
different.
him.
Well, he plays a part in what has been talked about, and I'm assuming he's been around those meetings. So if he were to say, he would probably say, instead of saying, I'm not concerned, he would say, we're going to address this going forward. That's what I
Josh
think.
McDaniels doesn't need to say any. He's only the offensive coordinator. I disagree.
The language is just telling. To me.
I think the fact that they have pushed their play-by-play guy, Scott Zolak, to come out and say these things, that's not an accident. That's
That
not a
is
slip of the lip.
Yeah.
This is a guy who's sending a message from the Patriots saying, we're just going to cut you. Thundar the San Barbarian says, new kids should drink Coke while eating Pop Rocks. Totally safe. No danger of causing your stomach to blow up at all.
That's funny.
Scratch Me Because says, if you snort Pop Rocks, your sinuses might explode.
Yeah, they would.
Maybe that lady with the fart nose needs to do that. Clean some things out there.
Look it up, man.
Anyway, so yeah, I think
they
Stephon Diggs
wasn't
is,
their first pick a receiver in the draft, Kyle Williams, right?
No, the Patriots?
Yeah. They drafted Kyle Williams.
Will Campbell.
Was it Will Campbell?
Yeah.
When did they get
Offensive
Williams?
lineman. Fourth pick.
Fourth pick. Okay. So
Yeah.
they've got somebody in the draft.
They did get somebody, and they made some additions too.
Yeah.
So I mean, they've built around.
I don't think it'd be a bad idea to get rid of that guy personally, but save yourself the money and put it somewhere else.
Yeah, they got Mac Hollins too. The Diggs, he's too valuable to cut. Like honestly too, with how much they paid him and with what the receiving core would be without him, he's too valuable to cut. Like, you need good receiver talent when developing young quarterbacks,
You know what?
especially when you change coordinators.
in all the years I've been doing this show, I have heard people say, oh, they'll never cut that guy. Too valuable to cut. Certain teams deal with certain things in different ways where you'd even be surprised. But I would think that the thought process is going to be, if the NFL steps in after investigating that video and they feel like there's going to be a suspension of any kind, they will cut his ass.
There might be by the team.
Because look at all the money. You got so much money involved in his contract that you're looking for a way to get out of that. Because also, guess what? You were already not sure how he was going to do after this injury.
Yeah.
You weren't sure how he was going to do on the field. You weren't sure how he was going to be as a teammate. And you're getting a lot of red flags right in front of you. The Patriots are looking for a way to pull the ripcord on this one for sure. Moist One says, yeah, I can't read that, but it's about Pop Rocks. And everyone else knows what he's saying. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Because Randy's not here, you have to do that there, Harris. Yeah.
Okay. Here, 1 second. 1 second. It's coming. Alrighty, here we go.
Wait, what? On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1935, Boston Braves outfielder Babe Ruth announced his retirement from baseball. The 40-year-old former New York Yankees slugger wanted to retire 3 weeks sooner, but stayed when Boston team owner persuaded him to continue to play because Boston hadn't played in every National League park quite yet. Back to me, Jeffrey. I don't understand that. So the owner wanted him to play in every National League park. So he must have been so early in the season. And hey, let me ask you a question. I don't know if it'd be this way now, but was there a point where the owners shared ticket? Did the owners of the away team get money from the ticket sales?
No.
So I don't understand why Emil Fuchs cared about that.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Maybe they used to.
Maybe there was some sort of like the owners take a certain amount of the tip jar. In other words, where they get the league gets some money, like a certain amount of total money. And owners just take a certain percentage. That's what I'm guessing.
It's a very vague slice of pie.
I know. That's my only guess.
Try to keep Babe Ruth going. So that as a reasoning, I don't know. But I will say this, Babe Ruth retiring 90 years ago. Can you believe that was 90 years
ago? Wow.
Actually, I do think they share some of that stuff.
Do they really?
Yeah.
That would be the only thing that would make sense is that, you're on the road and you want lots of people coming out, because why would the owner of the away team care?
You wouldn't care unless you're getting a piece of it. Yeah.
Or maybe they used to do that and maybe they don't anymore. I don't know.
Because they do have revenue sharing in the MLB. I know that.
Moist one says, felt like yesterday Babe was at the Polo Grounds. Yes, Babe was, but not everyone else, which is why I don't care about Babe Ruth's records.
I mean, Babe Ruth was drunk half the time he played.
Well, everybody wants to put him up on a pedestal, but yeah, getting those records is not as hard when African Americans weren't allowed to play at the same time. So imagine who would have really set the records given the chance.
I mean, I think
we'll never know now.
That might have been part of it, but I think just the level of competition wasn't
So
good.
Because you didn't let everybody else play.
Yeah, but even when they played those teams, I mean, he still did well. I just don't think the level was there, period. I mean, you can't compare records from back then to today.
I don't think any record matters until everyone's allowed to play.
Jeffrey, I got a question for you.
Yes.
So if you're not pro Babe Ruth and you're also
not anti Babe Ruth.
Well, in terms of like his records are kind of meaningless because not everyone was
kind of meaningless because not everyone else was allowed to play.
And then Barry Bonds, I'm assuming you're anti because of the steroids, right?
Yes.
Who do you think is the greatest baseball player ever?
Until Babe Ruth is allowed to take steroids, this is not even a question.
So you think it's Babe Ruth?
I just confused him.
You confused.
I don't think Barry Bonds is the greatest baseball player that ever lived. I don't think Babe Ruth was the greatest baseball player that ever lived. I have not sat down and thought about who the greatest is.
The eras are so different. It's a tough question.
It is.
It's another thing that we talk about on this show quite a bit, Harris. You need to understand. We have determined eras are more important. Errors are the way to determine these things because the rules being different. Now it's a new era. The styles of play different. Now it's a new era. That's why you can't compare Michael Jordan to LeBron James directly because of the rules and the way play was at the time. You can say, well, LeBron would be a great player, maybe, but it was a very different style of play. He wouldn't have gotten away with things that he got away with. And you look at
nothing.
And Michael Jordan wouldn't have been as good a defender in this era because of the way the rules and stuff are too. So that would adjust maybe how you saw him as well. So you have to look at this thing where they are. It's the era of Michael Jordan. It's the era of LeBron James.
Yeah, you just say the greatest player of his time. Like I think when it's said and done, Shohei Ohtani will be the greatest ball player of his time by far.
Cardinal Art makes a good point. He says there's no best Major League Baseball player, just your favorite player, in my opinion.
No,
Sure.
There's
Sure,
a
I
best baseball player. I disagree with that.
I was more so curious what you thought than trying to actually get an answer and debate it.
I haven't really considered who I think is the best baseball player of all time. For me, baseball is a sport. You can look at it as what's the best team? What is the best team I've seen? Who are the best, shut up, Ralph.
Dodgers.
Cardinal Art says, Ralph, suck it. Yeah. So, and again, you throw that question at me, I'm going to need some time with it. I'm going to need some time with it if it's best player. I'm going to need some time with it if it's best team. I wish it had been the Diamondbacks, but well, here we are. So All right, guys, that's it for us. We'll be back in your radios again tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Good night.
Progressive knows not all rides are smooth. Meet Sarah. She loves her motorcycle. What she does